able to attend. Okay, so now student visa pathway to Canada permanent residency. I always include Canada permanent residency just for you guys na parang na-encourage kayo lalo na mapaprocess ng documents niyo. So let's go. It's a very short, brief presentation of the possible requirements. Kasi last time we just discussed the factors, how to choose schools, programs, and everything, provincial provinces kung saan kayo mag-aaral. So first thing is the school requirements. So some of you who are still in doubt as kung saan na school at kung ano mga requirements sa pagkuha ng letter of acceptance, it would be school application form, passport. Some of them doesn't even require passport, but most of the schools require this one. Kinukumpare nila yung signature and yung name mo dito. College transcripts and diploma. High school, if you still have the form 137, kung minsan sa mga schools, if you have finished college, you don't have to submit this too. However, minsan may schools talaga hinahanap nila yung subjects like mathematics na nasa high school na wala sa college. Marriage certificate if there is a proof of name change, if nagpakasal, or name change back to your maiden name if nag-separate kayo. Annulment paper. English test results if required. Nilatuan ko yung medyo map instruction. Ito yung pinaka-importante sa atin. Most of the schools are waiving IELTS test, or they are even, I don't know until when, but parang iba, majority sa kanila is parang forever na yung pag-waive ng English test. English test results, it could be PTE, could be Duolingo, which is a cheaper and easier alternative for IELTS. Resume or CV for some schools. May iba kasi na nag-a-apply ng program na medyo hindi related sa previous education. However, yun yung parang background nila, work experience. So some schools require resume, CV, curriculum vitae, para lang mo-consider sila. Not all schools though. So hindi lahat ng paaralan na ganyan. Now let's proceed to the proof of funds. Requirements this time. The last time we talked about expenses. So this time it's requirement. Now, what are the documents that we're going to provide or to show? So this would be your bank statements or certificate. Advisable is 3 to 6 months na kinukuha siya. So I know some of you guys are worried kasi may iba na bulk deposit, which is it could be na meron kayong nabenta na property. It could be like donation from your families or friends, or it could be you borrowed it for your show money. It could be like parang galing sa family mo, pinhiram sa'yo para mag-show money. I would say if malayo pa yung time na magla-lodge kayo ng visa, make sure na there's an in and out. Huwag mong ilalagay as a bulk para makakuha kayo ng bank statement. Otherwise, if bulk deposit talaga siya and wala kang choice. And wala kang choice kasi pag pinakita mo yung statement, sobrang laki unless meron kang proof. Pag wala, this is the last option. Yung bank certificate. So, you have to contact your bank kasi pag naghingi kayo ng bank statement for more than a month, I believe, they need na mag-process nila sa central office or central na pinaka-main nila. So it would take time. It would actually take more than 2 or 3 weeks or more than that. Depende sa bangko. Recent pay slips, 3 to 6 months. Bi-weekly naman yung sahod. So if 6 months isagad mo siya, 12 na sa pay stubs yung magagamit. Question, kung bago akong employee, kakastart ko pa lang, and you were not employed before, include your pay slips pa din ng bago and anything that you have done before, like maybe nagsasilent ka sa business or something, which is andito yung SOP, and then yung purpose ng SOP, right? To explain. Certificate of employment. You can include your importante ma-highlight nito yung sahod mo kasi at yung job position. Kasi sa mga nababasa ko sa mga GCMS, they are walang no income history. Yun yung palaging nilalagay ng mga visa officer sa mga refuse na visa application, no, walang income history. So kahit na meron kayong pera and you don't provide any proof or kulang yung hindi sila satisfied, ma-refuse pa din kayo. Kaya importante pag mayroong employment, at least put the salary or benefits. Latest income tax return, dito siya palagi kasi sa atin unless meron kang business. So dito, lahat talaga magpa-file ng tax income. Sa atin hindi masyado unless malaki talaga income mo, right? So what we do, kung wala kayo dyan, then that's fine. Kung meron man kayong business din, including kung meron kayong income tax return sa business. Okay? So at investment, stocks, crypto certificates. I know marami na tayong nag-invest ngayon at a young age, on stocks and crypto. You can actually include those kasi it has value, right? Even though na parang paper, pa lang siya kasi ini-invest mo na, marami pa din siyang matutulong itong say certificate. It can also be as your home price. So some of those of you are having trouble finding ng mga makukuha ng PDF file or certificate. Some of the students are actually showing a screenshot of their profile. Just hide those information na pinaka-importante kung ayaw niyo parang ma-show. It's your right, it's a privacy. Kung may confidentiality tayo, right? So yun siya. Sorry. Wala kasi admit all ko na lang. Oo. Okay. No. Now, let's go to deed of sale for bulk deposit in the bank. As mentioned earlier, ito yung mga merong nabibenta ng land properties, bahay, anything na binibenta nyo tapos merong deed of sale. Yan yung siyang malakas na proof sa mga bulk deposit because we all know properties pag nagbentahan, malaki talaga. Tuition payment receipt. Kasali to siya sa di ba I told you like the 1 year proof of funds is 1 year tuition fee plus the 10,000 Canadian cost of living. So since magdi-deposit kayo, instead na yung sa income nyo may papakita, ito na siyang tuition payment receipt, especially for those schools na malaki ang deposit. Ito siya ang ipapakita, yung receipt. Business income and proof of business if you are self-employed or if you are employed by your families or yung family business lang siya, ipapakita nyo din. Life insurance or policy value. Ito siya. SSS, yung value nyo din, screenshot nyo. It could be like, punta kayo, hihingi ng PDF files for those naka sa SSS account nyo and sa Pag-ibig. For Co-op, I have seen some documents na parang sa bangko, Co-op, mayroong mga shares. So, I'm not sure what it is, pero ini-include ko na lang kasi maraming mga nag-invest din. Mayroong mga shares sa Co-op, mga bangko. Malalaki din siya actually. So, if you have it, then go for it. I did not include GIC yet. That's a separate na You can use it, yung GIC, Guaranteed Investment Certificate. Minimum is the 10,000 Canadian, which is ginagamit siya before, ginagamit talaga siya for SDS, Student Direct Stream. However, since SDS is ayaw ng mga estudyante mag-IELTS, and right now, hindi siya guaranteed talaga na within 20 days or lesser than a month mag-approve yung visa. It's more than that. Minsan pa nga mas matagal pa si SDS kaysa sa regular visa processing. So, ano nangyari? Some of the students na parang mahihirapan sila mag-explain where the money came from, kumukuha sila ng GIC. So, yung GIC na yan, it's like, makukuha mo siya dito pagdating sa Canada. But it's not a bulk na parang ma-withdraw mo agad. No, it's monthly. So, yung 10,000 mo, i-divide mo for a year. So, yun yung makukuha mo. Parang mostly, I heard it's at the end of the month, yung GIC na yan. And it's very helpful. Kasi parang hindi mo na-expect na meron ka palang matatanggap at that month, especially for the rent. Importante yan. Because I'm pretty sure some of you guys are even hindi lahat makakapag, lalo na pag mga single ladies or mga single na estudyante. You are not, it's not a guarantee that you can find work right away, especially if you are struggling to find yung schedule nyo. Tapos maghanap kayo ng work na fit sa schedule nyo. Unlike sa mga merong open work permit, which is advantage kasi anytime they can start working if meron ng ano. Kaya maganda din sa GIC, I would say. Now, let's say who are pwedeng mag-contribute for the proof of funds. We have family as a sponsors and your relatives and friends. Now, this is very important. It doesn't mean that they would say, yes, nag-sponsor kami. They should be able to provide financial documents. Maraming mga family or nag-sponsor na meron silang ganitong pera pero walang financial documents. And it's very hard to prove. And I understand that some of you guys even have Canadians or parang hindi Filipino na mag-sponsor, mga husband or mga uncle ng tita or tito natin. They are very particular with the confidentiality thing. I have a client na yung bank certificate talaga niya, walang nakalagay na account number. Unlike sa Pilipinas na very open, which is a big no-no. Sa kanya is yung amount lang yung money at kung anong bangko. Yun lang talaga ang nakalagay. So, yan yun siya. And I understand kasi Canada din. So parang mas ano yung trust ni visa officer kasi it's a Canadian bank. Kaya din siguro ganun. So, yeah. Your family as sponsors, relatives, and friends should be able to provide proof of relationship. If it's your family, sister or brother, parents mo, birth certificate, and a marriage certificate ng parents. Just a proof na, magkapareho kayo ng nanay, magkapareho kayo ng tatay. Or, yeah, ito yun siya gagamitin. Affidavit of support, it should be notarized. It's affidavit of support notarized. So, I don't know how much is it right now for the notarization. Hindi naman siya siguro gaano kamahal. 150 pesos or pataas, not sure. Letter of support. This is personalized, you guys. So ito yung parang dito ko ina-advise yung mga nag-sponsor. Minsan kasi parang si student yung gumagawa nito, pinapasign na lang yung sponsor nila. I would say, bakit ka as a sister, bakit mo susuportaan tong brother mo? Ano bang meron? So parang you have to show na, hey, you are sibling. Parang gusto mong i-support siya sa kung anong gusto niyang profession kasi nakikita mo yung sarili mo na, gusto mo siyang i-drag pataas kasama sa'yo na mag-success din sa profession and career niya. Parang ganon. And also if meron kayong mga tita na parang, na-inspire kasi siya sa akin kasi ganito yung kinuha ko ang program and I want her to be successful as well. Or it could be because parang sinasabi na malapit kasi kami sa school, kaya nagpo-provide kami ng accommodation. So yun yung sasabihin nyo. Ayan yun siya. So more personalized kung paano yung relationship nyo. Kasi ang affidavit, it will just state na, ito, magsusupport ako ng ganito. Monthly groceries or expenses. Very parang formal siya. So now let's go to the proof of status of sponsors. It could be identifications like passport, PR card, driver's license. So it doesn't mean na PR card, it's just like it's a US equivalent green card. Sa atin, national identity card. So driver's license, passport, as a proof na citizen talaga sila or ganun, sila talaga yung yung nagsisignature sa letter mo, letter of support. Now let's go to the latest notice of assessment. This is most likely for those who are here, nasa abroad. Ito yung yearly, pag nagpa-file ka ng tax, ito yung nare-receive namin, notice of assessment. Andyan yung annual income. Itong pinaka-importante, nakita nila na yung nag-sponsor sa'yo is malaking income. and it's from work, not from the government. Kasi marami dito kasi ding hindi na din nagwo-work and they just receive something from the government most of the time kaya parang nakaka-discourage din. So at least kapag nakikita nila 'to parang sasabihin talaga, "Oh, nag-aano, nagwo-work talaga 'to," yung sponsors mo. So sponsor recent payslips nila, bank certificate and statement, the same as what I have provided here. Yan yun siya. And also for accommodation, lease agreement. If wala pa silang bahay, ito yung palaging pino-provide for those who doesn't have a house dito. Unless kung meron nakabili na yung sponsor mo ng bahay, then that's better. Then they can just yung ownership ng bahay. Oo. Puwede mo din siya isali sa letter of support kung sa accommodation na 6 kasi yung bedroom, 4 na bedroom, and they have a room for us. Gano'n. So, and yes, finally, yung financial documents must be provided. No matter how huge your money, pag kung gaano kalaki, merong nade-defend if they don't know, if you don't provide enough information, where did you get the money? Like paano na parang magic nag-appear yung pera. Like, they have to be satisfied as to where did you get the funds. So I'm gonna let you guys ask questions at the last part, okay? Home ties. Ganito kayo pagka-graduate na. Tuwang-tuwa. So, home ties. We have land titles and registration. Very famous yan. Maririnig, makikita natin yan. Ito yung palagi. Property investments, yung proof nyo. If you, kahit na nag-loan pa kayo, yung hindi pa talaga nabayaran yung lahat. Like sa mga bahay, it's fine. Anything na prove na you are investing ng property sa Pilipinas, that's a home ties. ORCR of the vehicle. ORCR of the vehicle, photocopy it. And pwede din siyang gawing sa asset, sa proof of funds. We have a website for you guys if you haven't seen the video before, previously, na ma-estimate yung current value ng sasakyan nyo. So you can add it on your assets. Oo. SSS, as mentioned, you have, sabihin mo, uuwi kayo because you have pension pag uwi nyo. Obviously, hindi siya ganun kalaki, but of course, uuwi pa din kayo. Parang formality's sake. Pag-ibig, hindi love life ha, pag-ibig, contributions. So yung pag-ibig, pwede din gawing love life if meron kayong imaginary or totoong mga love life para uuwian nyo. So yan yun siya. Family pictures with descriptions. Importante ito siya. Especially if you are going to sponsor or bring your family with you, yung children mo, yung asawa mo, kailangan yung date and kung saan. Kasi ito siya yung basihan din ng parang proof of relationship or something. You can use this picture. Actually, kapag mostly kung ano yung documents ni SP, yan din yung documents ni open work permit. They're late, but okay. So insurances, as mentioned, you can use it as your home ties. Letter for future acceptance of job. So maraming iba na nagsasabi na their employer is willing to provide a letter na parang meron siyang babalikan na trabaho or yung trabaho na babalikan niya is an upgrade, parang supervisory or managerial position, maging magmamanage ng branch, mga ganon. That's fine. It's also a great support parang uuwi ka ng Pilipinas. Just make sure though na yung letter of future acceptance ng job is kaya nagko-compensate din sa gagastusin mo sa Canada. Like, sasabihin mo, gagastos ka ng almost 2 million pesos. Let's just say that. Tapos yung managerial position mo pala is around 25K a month. Parang it's not practical when you see it, Hindi maniniwala like, why would you spend 2 million pesos and then your monthly income is just 25,000? I was like, kahit na ganon. So, be practical. If ganon yung mangyayari, just rather find jobs online, take a picture of it, screenshot, and post it. Rather than having the letter of future acceptance of job. Unless lang talaga if malaking malaki yung salary na ino-offer sa'yo pagbalik mo, pag-uwi mo, and with all the benefits. Home census mirrors permit, business, DTI if you have a business. Maganda, mas strong din siya na ano, na mas maganda yung DTI niyo is hindi yung 1 month before lodging of your visa application. That's quite obvious, you guys. So, kahit at least man lang, um, 3 to 6 months prior to lodging, and if you can provide parang social media na nagpo-post na kayo before, and since nahanapan niyo ng paraan na magbo-boom yung business niyo, you decided to register it. Parang gano'n. So, kung meron kayo niyan to back it up, then that's good. Pets, of course. Pets here are considered as part of the family. Gano'n sila kaano sa mga pets, kaya maraming nag-ano ng not just a dog, I think. I have seen a lot like parrot, mga pusa. Meron nga nag-aano na yung mga baka niya, which is hindi siya pet pero parang kasali siya sa agriculture na value ng ano nila. Sinasali niya. And maganda siya kasi parang may malalaki kasi yan dito, alam ng mga Canadian, especially those na merong mga baka na mahal, mahal talaga yung baka. If you are a fresh graduate, of course, like mom, we don't have properties yet. We don't even have income yet. So paano to? Paano nga ba? So we have of course, the powerful deed of donation. Deed of donation is a letter. It's not a letter. It's actually from lalapit ka sa mga lawyer na again para magpagawa nito. Pwede mo siyang sabihin na magdo-donate yung sponsor yung or parents relatives sa'yo ng pera, let's say 1 million for the studies. And then pwede din sabihin na dinodonate nila sa'yo yung properties para as an inheritance. Uuwi ka dahil ikaw yung tagapagmana ng property nila and kailangan mo talaga siyang uwiin because of that. So, malakas na din yon. The problem is, I have seen a lot of comments na parang kung ano yung value ng nilalagay mo sa deed of donation, meron natang percentage na hinihingi or yung bayad sa pagpapagawa. I am not sure of this kasi yung kinukuha kong deed of donation before, kung ano lang yung bayad kasi they know na for visa application, so parang hindi talaga totohanan. And I understand some of the relatives are not even signing the documents, lalo na if yung naka-share yung title, kasi takot sila na gagamitin in the real situation, which is legal talaga siya. Right? So, you just have to ask your relatives or yung mga siblings niya, this is just for your visa application. If ano man talaga yung parang hindi talaga totoong sa'yo yung pupunta yung lupa, mga ganon. At least provide something, convince them that it's, pwede ngang i-keep nila yung original kung ayaw nilang, kung takot sila, di ba? So, that's it. Kasi ito yung mga wino-worry ng merong mga kahati, merong mga, lalo na pa hindi pa naka-transfer yung property sa pangalan nila. Bakit ko nga ba nilagay other supporting documents? Nantok ata ako dito nagsusulat other supporting documents. Fresh graduate, kung wala pang work, you would be able to defend it on your SOP na fresh pa kayo, wala pa sa parents niyo pa, hindi pa kayo nag-work. And you want to venture in another career na gusto niyo mag-upgrade or gusto niyo mag-shift ng career, and you don't want to waste your time working. For now, to support yourself, kailangan mo, since meron nag-offer opportunity for you to study abroad with the support of your parents or your relatives, ginagrab mo na. So that's that. Depende talaga kung paano siya sa SOP. Alright? Now let's also emphasize going home. I always tell those who are asking for yung nagpapa-proofread sa akin. Kasi di ba kasali nga yung services namin yung proofreading? Kailangan talagang i-affirm mo siya na uuwi ka ng Pilipinas. Like, kasi para affirm is like, I understand na we guys hindi talaga uwi unless na permanent residency. But this is parang sasabihin mo na, uwi talaga ako ng Pilipinas. Hindi already tayo uwi pag hindi maging permanent residency. Pero i-affirm mo lang siya, malakas din 'yan. I always affirm like, for example, merong mga refusal points na na ano ko sa profile ko sa SOP, sinabi na meron ka ng majority of her family is in Canada na. Yung naiwan sa Pilipinas is siya na lang and she has been refused many times. Work permit, caregiver, tourist, maraming beses na siya na-refuse and this time and the only ties that she has in the Philippines is her family, yung husband niya at anak niya. The rest, brother niya, parents, andito na. So what happened? Sinabi na lang namin sa SOP na, yes, it is true na yung tie sa Canada is stronger than in the Philippines because of this. Sinasabi mo. But, ganunin mo siya. But, I have my own family. I choose to stay and live in the Philippines. Ang purpose ko lang talaga dito is to get the program and the certificate that would benefit my studies or my career in the future. Parang ganon. So always affirm, like parang naintindihan na nila yan, you don't have to like paliko-liko, go straight right away. Yung ina-atake mo na yung nasa isipan nila. Ganun siya. So also aside from emphasizing and going home, future plans. If you are if you're having a plan in the future to start a business, then start a business plan if you can, or feasibility studies. But that's a lot of work, a lot of work. Ito lang siya kung meron ka siguro mga 1 year preparation bago itong magla-lodge ka ng visa. Ito minsan naggumagawa yung ibang ng business plans, minsan they just mention it like parang um, sa SOP nila na uuwi mag-ano start ng business, which is I understand if you have a lot of funds still on your proof of funds. However, kung hindi ka pa nagsisimula, tapos yung funds mo is parang tama lang din, why would you spend that money? Tapos pag-uwi mo, ano na yung capital mo? Parang gano'n. It doesn't make sense. So to those who are already started in business, pwede mo siyang mag-provide ng ano, na mas lalong ipapalago niyo yung business. I would always say na have a short-term and long-term plan. Yung attainable yung mga ano niyo, goals niyo after studies. So business plans and projects, that's that. May iba na gustong mag-baby, kaya mag-uwi, mag-start ng family sa Pilipinas. Meron ding iba na aside from starting their own business, they are even settling down. Sasabihin na ako, magsisettle down na ako. Andun yung boyfriend ko, girlfriend ko na iiwan. So that's that. Another thing. Job prospects. And when you say job prospects, marami siya. You have a lot of websites to use to how to get this. Yung mga screenshot mo. For example, senior level IT, mga managerial position, ganon. Search mo lang siya, lalabas yung lahat. Merong mga estimated salaries. Meron ding mga prospected job yung salary in the next 10 years, 20 years, pag ganun. So, meron na siyang graph and you can just actually screenshot it and just copy the website, ipopost mo siya. Very nice, very nice. So, gagamitin mo siya as a proof. And that's true. You have to include facts in your SOPs, mga ganito. So, salary graphs, kasali ito siya dito sa home ties. That's nice if you can include it. If hindi, then make sure na maano mo. Kasi ang matitik nito is limited sa refusal point, limited employment sa home country sa Pilipinas. Yan yung isang refusal point na matitik ng visa officer kapag hindi mo to siya na-address si job prospects. Sasabihin na ano, wala kang trabahong babalikan sa Pilipinas. And I know you've mentioned na, I will be back there as a supervisor, as a manager. Pero saan yung proof mo that you can be a supervisor and a manager at the same, makaka-upgrade yung program mo kung hindi nila nakikita yung prospect. So to those, like for example, kung gusto mo magbi-business, sabihin mo, according to ganon, you have to find a certain article that would support the documents na pinupost mo. Kasi adding this in your SOP would also interest the reader. If ako yung visa officer tapos nababasa ko paulit-ulit yung mga SOP niyo na parang ano, hindi ko na siya babasahin. Parang, nabasa, narinig ko na 'to, nabasa, narinig ko na 'to. So, gano'n. So, at least parang make something interesting, like according to gano'n, mag-i-increase yung ano dahil sa increased foreign investor na papasok sa Pilipinas. There was even one SOP that I have read, nagja-jump na ako ha, ganito yung utak ko. There was even one SOP that I have read na sinabi niya na mag-aaral siya ng digital technology sa Canada, sa Seneca. And her reason is bakit siya sa Canada mag-aaral kasi third world country si Pilipinas at hindi daw tayo nag-aano ng digital. Sabi ko, "So why would you study sa Canada kung walang digital ano sa Pilipinas? Paano mo siya magagamit?" Do you know, does it make sense, you guys? Parang gano'n yung nasa isip ko. Alam natin third world countries sa Philippines, of course, but we don't have to really put it sa paper. Because we have to make sure na sasabihin natin na, oh, maraming job prospect available sa Pilipinas. We have to find a way. Ipagmalaki natin na, oh, meron kaming babalikan. Gano'n. So if you can get this, then that's better. That's good. Oo. Now let's keep going. Next would be for those who are coming na merong kapares. Tingnan mo 'pag married konti-konti lang 'no? Makikita mo dito yung difference. 'Pag married ka, marriage certificate, yun ang pinakamalakas na panglaban mo. It doesn't matter if 1 week ago, 2 weeks kayo nagpakasal or 1 month ago. If you have been together for a long time, you can defend it. Oo, sa ano, sa SOP niyo. Any joint bank accounts, I would say na kahit kasal kayo, if meron din kayong at least joint bank accounts kasi married na kayo, then that's better. Properties, if you have, photos together, of course, much better kung meron pa kayong picture kung kailan kayo talaga nagkikita, nagkakilala, that's good. Letter of intent for the spouse. Ito yung parang equivalent ng SOP for the spouse. Ang SOP, LOI ni spouse is kinda like the same sa SOP yung format. The only thing is you have to provide yung information about your relationship. Bakit ka nga ba, how do you guys know each other, and what's your purpose of coming with your wife? Gano'n. So aside from magluluto, emotional, physical, moral support, parang gusto mo din, maano yung, career as I know na parang support talaga yung main reason bakit sasama si spouse sa'yo, 'di ba? Bakit ka sasama sa spouse mo. However, puwede mo din sabihin na while you are in Canada, you want to explore more about your career, na it might be helpful to the economy ng Canada, and you will get that knowledge, get that experience, apply it when you go back to the Philippines. You have to make sure that you also highlight na meron kang babalikan mo sa Pilipinas. Para hindi din ma-take off na hindi ka uuwi kasi parang wala kang trabaho. So most likely magstay ka sa Canada kasi maraming job opportunity sa Canada para hindi ka maganon ng visa officer. Photos together, nagpapaulit-ulit na pala 'to, photos together, of course. And birth certificates ng mga anak niyo if meron, mas maganda. Yeah, gano'n lang siya kaunti. And more on personal information din ni SP, ni open work permit. For example, yung mga about ng school documents niya, resume niya, mga gano'n. So, personal background about your open work permit. Yun siya din. Now let's go to common law. I know you guys like saying ang dami, magpakasal na lang ako. Yeah, pero, I would say na marami nang na-a-approve, ng common law. So ito lang yung talagang kailangan, at least 12 months living together. Hindi puwedeng nag-boyfriend lang kayo and unless kung meron kayong mga proof na ganito karami. Kailangan nag-live-in kayo and you have personal documents that has the same address. So it could be school documents, bank, mga ganon, joint bank accounts, identification na same yung address, mga PRC license, ano bang mga ID dyan sa Pilipinas na need ng same mga address, yun siya. Send more, certificate of no marriage. Yung iba nagpo-provide nito, yung iba hindi. Kasi minsan may cases na yung iba is married previously but it's been a while, it's been a long time na parang wala ng contact sa spouse and they now declare parang common law na sila sa isang relationship. So they don't include this. So no more. Proof of cohabitation. Parang same na to, proof of cohabitation sa mga ganito. Barangay certification of cohabitation. Kung meron kayong nasa barangay kayo, makakakuha kayo ng certification na you are living together as a common law, then that's good. Statutory declaration of common law union. At ito yung nasa immigration form. Ito yun siya. Joint affidavit of cohabitation. Ito yung mga joint affidavit, anything affidavit would be sa lawyer ni siya kakunin para my signature and notarize. Joint affidavit of cohabitation, affidavit of continuing relationship, joint affidavit of two disinterested parents. Ito siya. Parents niyo both sides. Attestation letters, family and friends. It could be like sabihin nyo na pwedeng kayong gumawa, signature mo na lang sa kanila, or if you are really your close friends and your close family, then they will write it for you. Parang ganon. So how they know your relationship from the start, mga ganon, kung gaano siya ka genuine. Ano ka totoo. Lease contract. If nag-rent pa kayo. Otherwise, if meron kayong property na tinitirhan nyo, make sure na same kayo ng address. Na both yung pangalan, both yung name is nasa paper. Receipt, bills, payslips. This is bills. Payslips. Ito siya, insurance beneficiaries. So if kukuha kayo ng insurance, kahit anong insurance, basta kayong dalawa beneficiary to each other's insurance, then that's good. Love story or timelines, like where have you met? How did it happen? Mga ganun. So until nan meron na kayong mga anak, don't write a very long Dear Ate Charo. Just very, very brief timeline, summary of kung paano na kayo dumating sa niyo ngayon, sa estado ng buhay niyo, sa relationship niyo. Photos with family and friends, of course, with dates and a little bit of description. Kung like, this is taken December 21, 2021, when we celebrated our first anniversary with my friends and family, mga ganon. Children's birth certificate, if meron kayong anak. Ito siya. Lapit tayo matapos, actually. Let's go to other documents. So other documents, we have NBI, at least 3 months during submission. I know na you would say, hey, it's 12 months, 1 year yung expiration ng NBI. You can submit at least 3 months para para purpose is parang fresh siya, bago. Kasi alam natin, konting galaw lang na nagpagkakamali, magkaka-record na sa NBI. So at least 3 months kaya magana siya. Police certificates from other countries. So if you have been to another countries before, most likely you will be asked to provide a police certificate from that country if nagkatira ka doon ng more than 6 months. However, if it's been more than a decade or even more than 6 or 5 years and wala ka na sa country na yon for a while, then you just have to go to CIC, type CIC police certificates. Lalabas yun kung saan kayo na country, for example, Saudi Arabia, nakalagay doon if anong gagawin, if inside Saudi ka pa, and if outside Saudi ka na. If outside na, then letter of explanation would suffice. And if nasa Japan ka, anong gagawin? Mayroon instruction doon na pupunta ka sa Japan Embassy, need ng appointment, mga ganon. So, you can explore this one for the CIC police certificate. And yes, pag nag-apply ng PR and citizenship, the same thing will happen. You will ask to provide the certificates for the last 10 years kung saan ka. Now, English test report forms. Some of you guys are taking IELTS and Duolingo included. kasali na yan siya. Pati yung MOI niyo, kasali niyo sa client information sheet. Biographical pages and visa stamps for an old and new passport. I know na merong iba dito nakakapag-travel palagi and they have lots of visa stamps. Kasali na din yan siya. Maganda 'to. Ito yung mga advantage ng mga nagta-travel. Kasi masasabi mo na they are not really nag-disobey sa law, they are obeying. They did not disobey any immigration laws, mga gano'n. Walang nangyari sa kanila while they went to that country. After that, photos of travels to other countries, as mentioned, everything. If you have a photo, if you can still recall the dates in the country, then that's good. Mm. Yun siya. Medical examination. I always advise you guys na mag-upfront. Upfront kasi at least parang by the time you lodge your application and you took your medical exam 2 weeks before, at least yung parang result na lang yung iintayin mo mag-medical pass. Kasi if you're gonna wait for the medical request, it would take time. It's probably gonna be 1 to 3 weeks after lodging, and that 1 to 3 weeks it's a huge na oras na nawawala sa'yo. So, kaya importante na mag-medical examination, mag-upfront. I always advise this unless lang if you are not sure na you're gonna go for that intake. Because expiration for this is 12 months. And if you are, for example, September intake ka sana this 2022, fall, and then nag-medical ka ng August, and you decided na mag-cancel ako na postpone next year intake na lang. Next year intake is September. Pupunta ka dito sa August most likely. And mag-expire na yung visa mo. Your visa, medical mo, your visa is not valid unless na valid din yung medical mo. IRCC will send you an email about your medical examination. Kaya, if you don't want na parang mapauwi dahil expired na pala medical nyo, then make sure na hindi din, malaki kasi din bayad ng medical, di ba? So, make sure na sigurado talaga na papasa kayo that intake. Lalo na if para sa inyo talaga ma-approve yung visa nyo. Okay? Digital photo, you have to be careful kasi dalawa tong sizes ng photo. Merong for permanent residency and citizenship, and merong temporary residency. So be careful with that. Statement of purpose, of course. I know I mentioned that we have to talk about this, yung paano yung i-address yung SOP, which I will tackle later. Not later. Next week, most likely. Ito yung ipapakita ko yung flow, kung paano siya, para smooth yung flow. Hindi yung parang pagkabasa, meron akong mga napo-forward, pagkabasa ko palang nagja-jump na. Kaya parang, imagine mo, hindi ako visa officer, but pero parang nagbabasa mo parang, no, no. Parang skim na lang, ganun. So kaya yun isa yung reason na parang mga refusal. I don't think na some of them are really thoroughly reading it, I would say. Lalo na if you have been reading SOP 10 to 20 people in a day. Sakit sa ulo. 'Di ba? So you wanna make sure na yung flow ng SOP mo is mababasa siya, ma-relate siya. Okay? Letter of intent, ito yung sinabi ko din, importante yan. And resume, of course. Doon yung pakita. Sa mga naggagawa ng SOP na parang nagsubmit na nga kayo ng resume and you still mention from 2010 to everything na nasa resume is you mention it. Tapos nakakapagpahaba na siya. If possible, paraphrase everything. Para siyang IELTS na 5 sentences, compress it into 2 sentences. Parang ganon. Make sure na walang maraming words na ginagamit na nagpapa-extend ng nyo. And you have already a resume. You don't really need to, especially if it's not related to the program that you are getting. Oo. So, you don't have to parang explain yung nasa resume mo. Okay. Now, let's go to this one. I know it's a struggle. It's a really struggle for those who are mag-DIY. Kasi ang limit lang nila to upload is 4 megabytes. 4 megabytes, that's A little, especially if you have a lot of documents, a lot of sports. Most likely, yung iba dumating sa mga 80 pages or more. Sa client information lang yan siya. So, what I do is compile. Para hindi kayo ma-confuse na parang paulit-ulit niyo ginamit ang document na yan for that upload, like sa proof of funds and then sa client information. Make sure na you create a folder and then create a subfolder. Pangalan nakalagay is mga proof of funds, client information, finalized immigration forms. I always encourage to get finalized immigration forms. Maraming iba na nag-i-edit ng PDF immigration form. Eventually, um, nag bina-validate nila. Hindi nila sinisave. Hindi nila sinisave. So, merong iba na kung ano, yung old profile pa din na hindi na-upload, hindi kumpleto yung documents ang na-upload na immigration form. Be very careful. Be very careful. Kaya, always save after validating. Okay, and make sure na ito yung nakalagay na finalized talaga. Kasi konting mali lang sa immigration form mo is could refuse your application. Kaya make sure you have to be like organized. Lalo na if magiging estudyante na kayo dito sa Canada. Kailangan nyo ng recall na documents when you applied for your permanent residency and your citizenship. I-recall mo yung what did you do for the last 10 years. Of course, as student, ilalagay mo yung employment job mo. And eventually, pagdating mo ng PR application, you forgot the dates that you put. At least meron kayong mababalikan na pag-apply nyo ng PR and citizenship, ito pala yung employment ko for the last 5 years since nag-student ako. Di ba? So, yan yung makaganda din. So, once you have that, you have to compile everything. Once na-compile nyo sa folders nyo, a lot of people are advising na i-ano nyo siya sa Word documents. Parang i-open nyo siya, ilagay nyo doon, i-compile nyo, i-arrange nyo. Kasi para mag-create siya ng less space sa mga documents nyo. So, for example, one page ng Word is like, there's 4 documents that you can attach. Parang i-resize nyo lang. As long as hindi lang talaga siya mag-blurry, then that's good. Merge using Adobe or on online application. I don't know how to say that. I don't care. But or an online application. You just have to Google PDF merge or combine. PDF merge or combine, it's the same thing. Just make sure that you always have to clear yung history niyo kasi it's an online di ba, hindi natin alam. But yeah, make sure you delete whatever you have uploaded sa online. Oo. Merong iba din nakalagay na if magpa-register ka, they will only hold your documents for how many days. Mawawala na din. Ganon sila. So when you merge that, compress. Unless lang talaga if one of you guys are nagkuha ng Pro, kagaya ko, which is, because I use it all the time, right? Kung marami akong kinocompress. So, kung nagma-monthly kayo, then ito siya gagamitin, madali lang. Kahit yung DPI, I don't know what's the meaning of DPI, but it says pixels sa mga images nyo is ma-edit nyo siya from 150 to 95. Malaking megabytes na din yung mawawala. Space. So that's good. Compress. Ito as mentioned, compress nyo siya. So, minsan merong from 60 megabytes going 4 megabytes and it's very hard kasi blurry na. Hindi na masyadong makikita, mababasa. As much as possible, delete the unimportant files. If you think na parang dito to sa proof of funds dapat i-upload kasi lesser lang na sa proof of funds na file, then add it there. If you think na hindi to masyadong kailangan. And parang kasali pa din siya sa application nyo. Don't prioritize it. Submit the documents, compile the documents that are really needed for the application. After that, once you have your UCI, which is the unique client identification, and your application number, you can web form it. Web form or email manilaimmigration.com. internationalgc.ca, sorry. So, pwede mo silang mag-follow up na this is an additional document that was not submitted kasi blurry na, hindi na siya mababasa. Then they will add it on your file. Make sure you gave your full name, your birthday, your UCI, and your application number every single time you send a follow-up message to the immigration. Kasi yan, that's the other way to identify yung birthday niyo, pangalan, and the numbers. Okay, so yun siya. You don't just have to send a letter, email. Kaya siguro yung iba hindi nakaka-receive ng email from immigration kasi kapag nagsisend ka lang din ng letter and then email and asking to follow up your application, ito yung nilagay mo, student visa, application number, wala ding nilagay ni UCI, kaya hindi ka talaga replyan. Mas ma-better na complete kasi if they trace that's the only way to track your application. Sa dami ba namang nagsasubmit everyday, right? Yun siya. And of course, our information, if you want us, some of you, I don't know if, most of you guys, I think, are sending us a LOA submission form for LOA to secure your LOA. So ito yung address, Saskatchewan. And here's the email, WhatsApp. You have to let us know before you call kasi yung time difference natin umaga sa Pilipinas, ang gabi dito, parang we don't want na parang masarap yung tulog namin tapos na disturbo. Parang ganun. Yeah, Facebook, follow us. Let us know if you are interested kung ano yung gusto nyo. But for now, we are open to any discussion. Kung nasaan na kayo, if based on your experience, based on what you have encountered so far with your application, then that would be help for those who are still waiting, who are still processing ng application nila. So, sino yung gustong mag-ano? Magtanong. Wala magtanong?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi! Sino to?
Yes po.
Ay, sige. Hi!
One question. Yes po. Ako po yung ka-chat niya sa Facebook, yung regarding sa, yung sa bundle program po sa sa Sax Poly. If advisable ba siya or okay din yung 1 year lang?
Ito siya ha. The thing right now is, since pandemic, parang yung mga palagi nilang ini-extend yung PCWP. Temporary public policy yung tawag kasi hindi siya permanent, temporary lang until na ano yung date. Pero kasi we never know din kung ano yung changes ng immigration in the next few years. And lalo na kung hindi na si Trudeau, right? Trudeau kasi open eh. Ang sa akin kasi pag nag-apply ka ng one, when you know you can join it into two bundle, why not na isahin nyo na lang? Kasi para pagdating dito, hindi na mag-apply ulit ng visa, you have to show proof of funds again. Oo. Magpapakita ka na naman ng proof of funds kasi nasa application talaga yan. I'm pretty sure na mapakita mo lang is yung payslips mo. Working. So why not just kasi kapag 2 years yung program mo, kahit apply ka, ang ipapakita mong proof of funds is your 1-year tuition fee plus your 10,000 Canadian. So that's the advantage. And if you ever decided not to pursue anymore sa second year because, sa second program, okay, kasi meron ka na nahanap na employer, then that's fine. Just inform your school. Right? Kesa you have to apply again. Parang that's what just for me, less hassle, I would say. Less hassle.
Okay. And ma'am, another question. Yung spouse ko kasi government employee po siya sa BFP, sa Bureau of Fire. Pwede po bang gawing home ties yung work niya?
Pwede naman. Yung willing ba sila mag-provide? That's the question ng letter.
So kailangan makasecure ng letter po from the employer.
Oo, kasi kung sasabihin mo lang talaga sa SOP niyan, wala kang it's not that strong. At least merong letter. Oo, yun yung sabi ko.
So that's all for now. Thank you.
Thanks. Reese?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Check ko lang po. Sorry, kung nag-pass ng bank certificate and then nabawasan yung amount, it's not gonna be the same na dun sa amount sa bank certificate. Will it be known by the visa officer?
Na pumasok
Na kunyari nabawasan yung amount or something?
Hindi. Kasi what they will know is what you got on the day you got your bank certificate or bank statement. Kung ano lang andon, they are not allowed to go past beyond those dates. Yun lang yung confidentiality na breach of confidentiality pag sasabihin nila na, nag-withdraw to nung nung after 2 days, after 3 days na nagkuha ng bank certificate. Hindi. And you know what? If hindi naman din siya kalaki, you can provide an explanation na kasali yan sa pag-apply mo ng student as expenses, di ba?
I-declare na lang po.
Like nag-spend na kayo this money para ganun. Part of your preparation sa studies mo sa Canada. Oo, kasi what I did when I apply, I included na kumuha ko ng pera for my IELTS examination kasi IELTS pa kami that time. So, medical, mga ganon. And it's not that big. Ang problema lang if malaki. Oo.
Okay. Thank you po.
Thanks. Rachel?
Hi po, ma'am. Can you hear me po?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, good afternoon din po sa ibang aspiring students.
Yeah.
So late lang po talaga ako pumasok, ma'am. Siguro mga ika-4th slide mo na. So nag-forward lang talaga sa akin is yung friend ko din na nasa Canada na din. Recent, opo, si Miss, Miss Manalad. I don't know
si
if you know her. Si It. Tanong ko lang po, papahingi lang po ng advice sa future program na posibleng pinakamalapit talaga sa experience ko kasi I am working as an instructor po pero under sa HRM and tourism ng mga courses. However, I am a community coordinator sa program namin po which is sa hospitality management and at the same time youth advisor din po ako at meron din kaming ministry sa church under youth. That is why yung pinakamalapit talaga or meron po talaga akong experience is yung youth care program. Natatakot lang po talaga ako, ma'am, kung
ma-defend mo or hindi.
Opo. Yung factor din kasi, ma'am, na napili ko yung SAS Poly kasi 8-minute drive lang siya sa bahay ng tita ko. So makakatipid talaga sa accommodation at sa expenses po talaga. And I am really planning to get lang po yung 1 year kasi yung 2 year masyadong
mahal. That's right. Kung related siya, kung more on community involvement yung sa'yo, lalo na sa mga youth, I would say you can get youth. Meron kang experience, background.
Meron naman din talaga akong background.
So get it. The thing is, pwede mo siyang mag-defend actually na you want to be a leader of the youth, which is not, kasi kahit saan ngayon, marami ng mga youth na sumali sa as a public servant, public service, right? So,
Yes.
some of them are leading the youth, and it would be an advantage for you kasi wala kang idea how to
Yes, ma'am.
communicate. Marami kasing sa youth certificate is meron kang mga programs, especially for those who are mga mag-involve kasi yan ng mga counseling, mga ganun sa youth, activities sa youth. Kaya madidefend mo siya. Go for it. Oo.
Ma'am, I am 27 years old. Okay lang po ba if ever fully sponsored ng tita ko?
Fully sponsored. Nagtrabaho ka na ba for a long time?
3 years pa lang ako, ma'am, sa employment.
Okay. So 3 years sa employment and then fully sponsored kay tita. I would suggest na kapag more than 5 years experience kayo, huwag kayong magpa fully sponsored ha. Kasi parang parang you have been working for a long time tapos parang wala kang ipon, parang ganun. Unless lang talaga na parang meron kang ipon pero fully sponsored ka pa din kasi they really want you nga mag-succeed sa studies. Right? So, yun yung iniisip ko.
Pero ma'am, nag-start ako talaga ng employment is 2016. Pero masyadong maliit lang talaga yung sahod ko before.
Parang more on, ano lang, panggastos mo, no? Pang monthly.
Yes po.
Um, ito masasabi ko ha. If you can find a way na somebody like mag-put ng money sa account mo,
Okay.
that would be a huge help. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Kasi at least merong laman sa bangko mo. Kasi kung
Meron
pwede
din naman,
mo,
pero hindi po talaga malaki.
ganito siya ha. If meron sa inyo mag-sponsor and fully sponsored, at least pwede din sabihin, I know natakot sila na, or like, I don't know, takot or it's just that mas confident sila na yung pera is andun lang sa bank account nila. But if pwede nyo naman makiusapan na pwedeng ipadala na lang sa inyo, i-deposit sa account nyo para meron din kayong ma-provide aside sa financial documents, pwede din yan. Okay? So, pwede din yan siya.
Okay po.
Kaya nyo i-provide. Oo.
Sige po. Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you. So I'm just gonna alternate ha yung mga nag-hands up yun sa chat box.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, si ano po to, si Richland.
Ay, sa Richland. Hi.
Ay, kumusta, ma'am? Ma'am, pasensya na. Medyo makulit ako dahil galing nga ako sa agency, di ba?
Oo.
Ganito, meron akong questions na back of my mind.
Oo.
Yung unang-una, yung medical. Kasi di ba valid yet for 1 year.
Yeah.
I was refused via agency. Then, kung September 2023 intake ako, ang inano ko kasi kay NHS Baguio, ang in-upfront schedule ko ngayon ay March 2023. Okay lang po ba yun?
March 2023. Yeah, it's fine. When are you planning to lodge your application though?
Kailan po ba dapat? Halimbawa, nakuha natin, di ba, kukuha tayo ng LOA kay Poly.
As soon as you get your LOA, tapos
Opo.
ready na yung funds mo, you can lodge anytime.
Ay, ganun ba?
Yeah.
Hindi po, wala po bang ano yun na maaga masyado?
No. As long as meron ka ng letter of acceptance and complete na yung proof of funds mo and documents, lodge ka na. The earlier, the better. Para makapag-approve ka, kukuha ka ng plane ticket, mas cheaper. Right?
Ayun nga po ang bala ko eh. Kasi para mahabol din.
And,
Mahabol din po yung validity ng aking medical.
Oo. Yeah. Because you can come, unless lang if there's gonna be another pandemic, hopefully not, then there would be no travel restrictions. Yeah.
Opo.
Yeah. Oo. So yun yung masasabi ko. If you can submit, for example, October mag-apply, makukuha mo siya most likely October, let's say second week or third week ng LOA mo. November, submit ka na.
Pwede na. No?
Oo. Magagamit mo pa yung medical mo from last time, right? Kasi
Kaya nga po kaya hindi mo na ako nagbabayad.
Oo. Magagamit mo siya for visa application. And if for some reason, approve ka na and nagsasend ng email sa'yo si IRCC to renew your medical, then that's fine as well. Approve ka na eh. Okay na gagastos ng medical ulit para just to make sure valid yung visa mo pagpasok ng Canada.
Opo. Opo.
Ganun.
Tapos second question po, di ba po ang agency ginawa na ako ng GCK? Hindi, kung magdi-DIY na ako ma'am, hindi kaya mag-conflict?
No, it's
sa bagong GCK na gagawin ko?
Hindi. Never. It's never gonna be a conflict. Kasi kung ano yung UCI mo, that's gonna be your UCI until you will get your citizenship. It's very important, you guys. Kaya, UCI, wag nyo talaga yung i-share ng mga taong hindi nyo Yan yung magiging nyo na sa Canada. From student PR to citizen. Yan yung siyang number. And kahit na anong application i-apply mo, they can trace back your application na pinag-a-apply mo before. Kasi nag-apply ako before, nag-flag pool ako sa USAM to extend my work permit. And nag-flag pool ako, sinabi na, nag-apply na ba daw ako ng permanent residency? I told them no, hindi pa. Kasi yung PR na yun sa SINP, sinabi ko, hindi pa ako nag-submit. Ang sabi niya kasi, marami nga kasi sinasabit na application. Sabi ko, hindi, wala pa. Sabi niya, naalala ko, nag-express entry pala ako ng mga, tinatry ko yung scores ko. I have like 10 express entry na failed kasi hindi umabot sa score. So akala nila, I attempted na mag-apply ng permanent residency. Sabi ko, no, nag-try lang ako compute ng scores. So kaya makikita nila. Kaya whatever. But you can create your own GCK anytime.
Oh, ma'am. Tapos, ma'am, ganito kasi ang status. Sinabi ko muna sa agency, i-hold muna kasi ako nagkakasakit ako.
Mm.
Na-stress ako, hindi ko masabi, na-stress ako sa mga tao nyo.
Tapos,
Ang hirap mag-ano sa inyo. Ang hirap mag-follow
oo.
up. Diyos ko po. Sumakit ang ulo ko talaga. Tapos, siyempre nga, yung katulad niyan, agency, ang SOP, hindi mo alam kung kinalikot eh. Yung attachments, hindi mo alam kung lahat ng pinasa mo, nagpapasa sila na kung ilan daang piraso. Hindi ko naman alam kung pinasa lahat.
Oh, so
Or
you mean
pinilian. So,
yung
naka-hold lang. Ang sabi ko doon sa officer doon, paki-hold muna.
mm-mm.
Hindi ko muna ma'am kinancel eh, kasi bayad na ako.
Make
So,
sure.
anyways, I
Mm-mm.
don't mind na hindi ko muna, I don't mind na, yung pera. Ang ano
Oo.
ko doon, yung bang ikaw ay kliyente, hindi ka naman
Oo.
kailangan bigyan ng priority. Yung
Mhm.
bang coordination lang na madali silang mag-follow up. Pero wala, hindi ko nakita. Kaya,
Mm.
I'm thinking na
Mm.
i-hold muna. Sabi ko, i-hold. Ngayon,
Mm.
ma'am, pag nakuha natin ang LOA dyan,
Mm.
sa SAS Poly, siguro, tutuluyan ko na. Aalis
Make
na ako sa agency.
mm.
Kaya
Yeah.
lang, ang hindi ko nga alam, kung during may application ng LOA, baka mamaya, applyan naman nila.
No, unless there's an instruction from you na mag-apply, then no, they would not.
No,
Kasi
yun nga po ang alam ko.
oo.
And then meron akong
Oo,
pinirmahan sa kanilang
ma'am.
kontrata.
Mm. Don't be
Hindi
afraid
kaya
of the contract. You can demand. You can actually demand kasi nasa contract, 'di ba? Na kung feel niyo parang hindi kayo inaasikaso ng agency, demand. Kasi nasa kontrata nila kasi napapansin ko, I have also been paying a lot of agencies when I came here in Canada. Nag-apply ako and eventually I ended up not doing anything with them involving with agencies kasi dahil dyan. So, make sure lang talaga na you know what documents they are submitting on the final, yung ina-upload nila sa GCK nyo. Kung hindi
Okay.
nila ibigay, you can demand kasi you're paying them. Unless lang talaga hindi sila nagbabayad. But you know what? If hindi sila magbibigay, there's always a way to find out kung ano yung attachment na sinasubmit nila. You can actually submit a GCMS. GCMS is a Global Case Management System.
Oo.
Yung ATIP yung notes ng refusal ng visa officer and update about your application. Or also, pwede siya kung ano yung attachment na sinasubmit nyo sa IRCC. Doon mo makikita lahat ng documents na sinubmit mo, black and white. Makikita
At
mo siya.
kanina ko po yan makukuha, ma'am.
Only permanent resident and Canadian citizen ang pwede niyang kukuha.
Magre-request ako sa kakilala ko, ganun.
Oh, request ka. Kasi makikita mo, doon ko nalaman yung sa cousin ko na hindi pala sinasubmit lahat. Walang table of contents, walang organization, kung ano lang nilalagay doon. Kaya
Pati
pala,
family tree nga hiningi sa akin.
tingnan na lang. Basta kailangan makita nyo. Okay?
Tapos ma'am, meron pang isa ma'am, sorry. Yung dating documents kaya na ipinasa ko o pinasa ng agency, di ba gagawa ko ng bago ko?
Yeah.
Makikita kaya uli ni VO?
Most likely, kung hindi mo na ini-include yun siya, hindi na. Kasi they will not look at your previous application. They will look on your
Hindi na.
current application.
No, kasi ma'am, magbabago na ako ng program, magbabago na rin ako ng SOP.
Yeah. No. Oo. But you have
Hindi
to
na.
address yung yung application na refusal. For example, if about sa visit, yung purpose of study, mga ganun.
Oo.
Address mo pa din
Mhm.
para make sure matatamaan talaga yung hinahanap nila. Okay?
Okay po ma'am, maraming salamat po.
Thank you. I'm gonna share what if freelancer po. Hi, Kimi. If freelancer ka and you have proof of documents na you are working, then that's fine. Pwede. Pwede siyang gagamitin. Kasi freelancer, it's still a job. It's still a work. Right? So, yeah, pwede naman. Pag sinabing family sponsor, dapat PR ng Canada. What if yung parents magsusupport financially but resident lang ng Philippines? Hi, Hazel. When I sponsor my brother, I was still on my postgraduate work permit while I sponsor him as a student. I did not even provide financial documents kasi sabi ko, saan ako nang ipon? I was just a student. Gastos. So what I did, payslips. Ilang payslips yun? Letter of employment from my employer. Yun yung sinasabit ko. Kasi na-cover na din yung funds ng parents ko. However, I sponsored him. Sabi ko ako yung magpo-provide ng accommodation plus yung support ng groceries a month. Sinasali ko din siya sa table computation even though there's no really money. Parang payslips lang. Parang ganun. Okay naman.
Hi,
Approve.
hi ma'am.
Mm.
Hello po.
Hello.
To follow, to follow lang po din sa question ko.
Mm.
Bali kasi po, working naman po ako tsaka yung partner ko na magpupunta ng Canada for more than 5 years na. Pero
Mm.
yung parents po kasi niya, nag-offer po sa amin na isusupport kami financially. So, hindi ko po alam kung ano ba talaga yung tamang term, kung sponsor ba siya or donation.
Kung i-support kayo financially, I would say ano siya, parang donation na yan kasi parang sinasabi nilang magsu-support. So meaning ibibigay sa yung pera, right?
Yes po. Tapos kapagka, puwede din silang magbigay ng financial support if nandun na kami sa Canada, yung mga gano'n po.
Yeah, just to be careful, no?
Donation.
Just to watch out. If meron kayong sponsor, dapat alam natin na meron yung pinoprovide nilang pera. Hindi iisipin ng visa officer, hindi naman lahat ng pera ni sponsor is gagamitin para sa studies niyo, right? So,
Yes po.
parang example, meron kayong parents kasi merong one time na may kaso na parents yung nagsusupport sa kanya and yung parang pension na 50-60K thousand a
Ah,
month. Oh, hindi din naman
mm.
kasi pwedeng ubusin mo yan kasi kailangan ng parents mo
Yes.
din yan. So parang it's not feasible na makikita mo siyang fully.
Yes po.
So donation.
Currently employed din po yung parents niya. Okay na po kaya na supporting documents, letter of support, bank certs, mga gano'n po? Tsaka
Yeah,
payslip?
payslips. Oo.
Okay po.
Tapos yung affidavit of support and donation.
Affidavit of
Mm.
support. Okay po. Thank you. Yun
Thanks.
lang po.
Okay. Okay, mag-ano ako alternate sa nag-hands-upan sa chat. Who else earlier? Dami nag-hands up. Hindi ko na-notice. I think Michelle's done, right? Bethany?
Hello?
Hi!
Hi, Miss Natsumi. Actually po, kasi I'll start also pa lang yung application ko. Kaya lang ang dilemma ko po is currently po, registered nurse po ako by profession. Nag-practice din ako before ng clinical sa hospital. Unfortunately, ngayon po kasi nasa banking na ako for 11 years. So ngayon po, natutorn ako which program to take. Kasi I would like sana sa SAS Poly in Saskatoon kasi nandun yung pinsan ko who will support me with my accommodation. Yun nga lang po, ang meron kasi doon, as advice din po ng ibang DIYer, is yung CCA, yung Continuity Care Assistant Certificate. So, iniisip ko po, yun sana ang gusto kong kuning program. Yun nga lang, baka si visa officer is magtaka, bakit ako babalik ng healthcare, where in fact, dito sa Philippines, nasa bangko na po ako. So, yun yung isang dilemma ko if I would push through with the program or hahanap ako ng other program na connected sa current job ko. Yun nga lang po, other sa Prince Albert na, which is medyo malayo sa pinsan ko. Mas sayang din po kasi accommodation. So, ano po kayang pwedeng advice po na pwede nyo magbigay?
So, ganito isipin natin, ha? What we think is for the approval. Approval ang pinaka-top priority, right? So, iisipin natin, yes, advantage and disadvantage. Advantage is kung CCA, yung accommodation mo masisave. But disadvantage is baka ma-refuse ka. I would go to the, ma-approve ka muna. And you know what? You have the option to switch back to another program. Like CCA, kung gusto mo talagang bumalik doon. Ginagawa yan. Ang problema lang kasi, CCA is a very in-demand program. So, hindi siya, mapupuno talaga siya. palagi.
Mm.
Wala siyang vacant. If you're going from banking to CCA, the only reason that I can think of na ma-define mo is you want to go back to healthcare. Healthcare is very in demand and it's not stopping any moment. It's even like parang struggle ngayong iba na short staff palagi naghahanap ng mga
Mm.
tao. And it's very obvious, especially anywhere right now. Marami kang facts na masusupport mo na bakit babalik ka sa healthcare, especially elderlies, right?
Mm.
So, my
Pero
suggestion,
possible pa din siya. Kasi
yeah,
I really want naman to go back to healthcare. Kasi sabi ko rin naman, if I go abroad, mag-healthcare din talaga. Kasi dito sa Philippines talagang maliit naman yung salary for nurses. Pero I want to go back talaga to healthcare. Yun nga lang po, tama yung sinabi nila. Medyo nakakatakot lang. Baka hindi nila i-approve because if I go back to Philippines, parang bakit dati hindi ka naman nag-nurse? Why now? Di ba parang ganun po yung
mhm,
questions. Baka
mm,
maging disadvantage sa akin.
yeah. That's the time that you enter the short-term and long-term goals. Okay?
Okay.
So, short-term goals. I know you gained an experience in here. Babalik ka sa
Mm.
Pilipinas. And then eventually, marami ng mga if you don't know guys, marami ng mga um, elderly facility sa Pilipinas na namamanage ng mga foreigners.
Okay.
Oo. So, get the experience and then eventually gusto mong mag-fly sa other countries para magkuha ng experience and babalik ka sa Pilipinas. So, maybe it's your own, that's the long-term goal. Invest your own healthcare facility, elderly facility, ganon. And
Okay.
sasabihin ko din na marami ka talaga makikitang facts. Hindi ka mag-worry when it comes to healthcare. And you're not the only person na nagsuswitch ng career from kayong iba. Meron kang IT eh. Alam mo, IT siya for how many years? And then eventually, 1.5 lang yung page ng niya, ang tapang ng SOP niya. 1.5 lang, na-approve pa siya. So, hindi siya, posible siya talaga. Posible.
Posible din. So,
So,
depende
right
lang din
now,
sa strong SOP.
what I want you to do, para siyang nagagawa ka ng writing sa IELTS, list down the advantages and the disadvantages. Kung saan yung matimbang sa'yo, go for it. And I would say accommodation. Plus, iba kasi din ang support ng meron kang relative around you kung
Opo
nag-study.
eh.
Kaya, yeah, go for it if you want to. Really, grab. I was a nurse, but also ako, office admin when I came here. Di ba? Not related entirely at all. Pero
Mm-mm.
I was able to manage to provide. So, na-defend ko siya. Mm.
This question pa po, ma'am. For the supporting, financial support po, kailangan po ba yung money is transferred sa amin? Kasi kakasal po ako by October. So, isasama ko yung husband ko pag nag-Canada ako by September intake. Kailangan po ba yung financial support na ibibigay sa amin ng family is na-transfer sa bank account namin or not necessarily naman po?
Not entirely. It doesn't have to be transfer sa bank account niyo. Oo. Basta meron din kayong pera, mag-asawa. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Kasi pa naisip ko,
Ah,
dapat couple at least marang at least yung pera sa inyong dalawa. Lalo na if you have been working as a bank sa 11 years, so ma-establish na talagang meron ka ng income. Oo, makikita ni visa officer naman ka ng income and madi-defend mo din sa SOP na that you have been working for how many years and then you decided like you have to invest something that's gonna make your career na mag-improve or naghanap ka ng career na maganda yung benefits. 'Di ba? So, at least madi-defend mo din siya.
Okay po. If you want po na magpa-assist for LOA, I'll just message ko lang po kayo.
Yeah, for sure. Email me, you guys. Hindi ko pa nakikita ko na email niyo but hindi ko pa nag-respond but I have seen your emails, okay?
Okay.
Hindi po ako nag-reply. Oo. Sige. Did I answer your question, Bethany?
Yes po. So much po. Thank you po.
Thanks. Amy, considered na as red flag po ba if I'm working as a freelancer for a blockchain gaming company like hindrance ba ito? Like, since this sila Philippine-based, wala pa silang provide na COA or payslip. Like, how, Kim, how are they sending you your pay? Like, is it PayPal or Payoneer? Or ano ba yung way na nare-receive mo yung bank? You working as a freelancer in any company should not affect your student visa application. The thing is, ang question dito is yung proof na na-employed ka sa kanila. Letter, any letter maybe? Na makapag na na-sign na you have been working with them, then that's okay. Or if you have a website na sinasalihan, for example, sa mga freelancer Upwork, yung name ng website, and meron kang profile mo na you have been a freelancer and you received these funds already, then that's good then. If you guys know what I'm talking about. Kimi, are you here? Or wala siya? Naka-exit. Not sure. Okay. I'm just gonna skip. Let me know if you have question. Miss Jen, my husband is a seafarer and he's still on board. If meron ng biometrics request, hindi pa siya makapag-bio, di ba mag-move yung application niya without the bio? Hindi. Kasi biometrics is part of the process and it's actually you only have 30 days para mag-provide to. You can try and message na pwede ma-extend yung biometrics kasi ginawa nila yan during the pandemic, or visa stamping, tapos temporary foreign worker ka, they are even allowed na mag more than 30 days yung sa passport isa-submit. For biometrics, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure na hindi talaga mag-move kung walang biometrics. Jerry, yung application ni husband mo. How much yung rate ni Wise sa pag-submit ng application? You guys, you will submit your own application, okay? So, bayaran yung sarili niyo. I-treat you yung sarili niyo after visa application. I-treat you kasi doon na kayo ma-stress, maghantay sa RE, reviewing eligibility. What we do is we just guide you. And kung meron kayo dito magkasali, you get to know each other, magiging close kayo. And by that time, meron na tayong kasi meron tayong private group, right? They will guide you. You treat yourself, not me. Okay? Not Wise Study. And by the way, we are not related to Wise Immigration sa Pilipinas. We are different. We are entirely based in Canada. Marami kasing nako-confuse eh. Yung Wise na pangalan ko, it's actually not the same as Wise Hindi kasi tinanggap ni Saskatchewan Business yung pangalan ng business ko. Kaya inaganon ko na lang sinashort ko. So wala. Treat yourself. That's what I say. Basta kami sa letter of acceptance. That's the only thing. Kami sa letter of acceptance, then we will guide you with your visa guidance application. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng Zoom sessions. Para kung meron kayong tanong, hindi na kayo pupunta-punta sa ibang groups na iba-iba din yung sagot. Right? Next would be Crystal. I remember. Crystal?
Hi, hello po, Miss Jen.
Hi!
Crystal po. So,
Okay.
my question po is about GIC, then police clearance, and then medical po.
For sure.
I'm planning to launch on January po, waiting for LOB. And then may bulk deposit po ako. So, uwi po kasi kami ng Pinas sa January. And then, hindi ko po alam kung ano po ang advice nyo about dun sa bank. Kasi mag-open po ako ng GIC. Kung mag-open po ba ako ng new account or ipapa-change ko na lang po yung name ko. Kasi yung bank ko po sa Pinas is nasa province po. Yung ko pa po, yung surname ko is iba pa po. Di ba dapat po match po dun sa name ko yung pag-open ng GIC?
It doesn't have to be as long as you have a marriage certificate. But if
Okay lang.
if gusto niyo na parang wala lang, parang isa lang, parang feel mo parang pantay lahat the same lahat ng last name sa documents mo,
Yes.
then it's okay. Sa Canada kasi hindi ganyan ka-strict sa Pilipinas eh. Dito lang kahit na marriage certificate, okay lang. Oo.
Opo.
Kasi
Yun nga lang po kasi pag-uwi po namin ng January, kung magla-lodge po ako noong January, yung process po kaya nung pag-open ng GIC is mabilis lang po. Or mag-open na lang po kaya ako ng bagong account. Tapos doon ko po i-deposit lahat ng ano. Kasi plan ko po is mag-open like around 20 po for GIC. 20.
20,
May
20.
idea po ba kayo? Sobrang ano po ba lang?
Merong days lang magre-respond sila, days to a week at least.
Opo.
Yan yung naano ko. So, you want to open a new bank account para lang
Yes.
in uniform. Yung
Kasi po
passport mo ba is last,
naririnig ko po. Ano po yun?
yung
Mister?
passport mo, last name na ba ng husband mo?
Yes po, last name na po. Parang ang hassle lang po kasi nung uwi pa po akong province dun sa branch para i-ano po yung
Okay.
surname ko po.
Okay. It's okay if mag-o-open ka ng bago bank
Opo.
account.
Opo.
Yeah.
Tapos wala po kasi akong idea sa mga bank sa Pinas kung ano po yung mabilis mag-process ng. Kasi bali 2 weeks lang po kasi kami magstay ng Pinas.
I would
So,
say, BDO?
BDO po. Opo, try ko din po siguro bago ano.
Oo.
Tapos ma'am, doon po yung next question ko po. Is doon sa medical po kasi yung anak po namin nasa Pinas. So bago po kami mag-lodge, mag-upfront na po kami dito. Kaming dalawa. Okay lang po yun, no? Tapos siya po doon sa
Yeah.
Pilipinas.
Yes, it's okay.
Opo.
Upfront siya doon. Yung medical sheet information na ibibigay ng clinic sa kanya, in-scan lang, ibigay sa'yo and upload in his
Okay. Opo, upload na po
information
Yung
sheet.
last po, parang natanong ko na po sa inyo dati eh. Pero ang napag-usapan po natin, yung sa police clearance po, yung 10 years lang po. Tapos yung last Zoom meeting po natin, parang nakita ko po kayo, mame-mention pa rin po pala yung travel. So, kahit po, yung pong nag-Taiwan ako dati, mame-mention pa rin po pala yun, kahit more than 10 years na siya.
10 years.
So,
Ay, pag
kailangan
more
ko
than
po,
10 years, ano na?
okay lang po. Hindi
Oo,
na po isi-secure.
Oo, wag mo na i-recall yun siya, yung sa Taiwan.
Pero po doon sa travel po kasi, kailangan ko pa po, parang mame-mention po ulit doon eh. Nakita ko po nung pinakita niya yung last pag sa ano.
Like, have you traveled?
Opo.
Pag wag mo na i-mention pag matagal na.
Ay, hindi ko na po i-mention doon. Yung mga, okay. Sige po.
Kaya good ka na. And you are working. You're not in the Philippines right now, so you have a proof na you are a law-abiding citizen.
Okay po. Okay po. Sige.
Sige.
Yan lang po, Mister. Thank you po.
Thanks. Hi, Crizia. Working for 6 years na din. Okay lang ba less than 100K laman ng bank as savings plus sponsor ni father? Yes, it should be okay. Okay lang yung funds mo, sis. Pasok na yan. Hindi ko alam kung andito ka pa or wala na. But yeah, pasok yung mo, yung pera mo, yung proof of funds. Hindi siya nag-on. Kaya no worries about it. Tapos joint pa naman to, di ba? Nag-joint kayo ng mo, ni papa mo. Kaya okay na yan. Nag-apply ako yung pera ko that time kasi nasa mga lang din, lesser than 100K pesos. Oh my God. Paano ba naman magkakapera yung nurses sa Pilipinas? So, wala talaga akong pera nung nag-apply ako that time. Parents ko lang din. So, kailang yung sa'yo. Miss Rhea, tanong ko lang po ng program na pwedeng kunin related sa profession. RN by profession pero wala pa akong clinical or hospital experience. 11 years dental assistant po ang work ko. 11 years dental assistant. Alam mo, mas maganda to siya pag mga anong program talaga if magwa one-on-one session tayo para at least matanong ko kung ano ba talagang gusto mo. Right? So, andyan ka?
Yes po, ma'am. Good morning po.
Good morning. Dental assistant for 11 years. Nasaan ka ngayon?
Nasa UAE po ako ngayon, ma'am.
UAE. Dental assistant. Meron kasing program dito, dental assistant din. But what's the point of getting a dental assistant program if dental assistant ka na din? Unless lang kung dental hygienist. Dental hygienist is a 3 years advanced program which is parang hindi siya worth it. na mag-study ka ng 3 years kasi yung tuition fee ang mahal.
Mhm.
Kaya, maraming RN programs dito
Mhm.
from RN health IT healthcare, health informatics, to gerontology, palliative, nursing leadership, mga gano'n. Pero sa
Meron po ba diyan
mm.
sa SASMAD sa may Saskatchewan, ma'am?
Sa Saskatchewan talaga, nakakaawa yung mga program nila for nursing kasi only CCA, continuing care assistant. I can recommend occupational health and safety kasi puwede din yan sa mga healthcare professionals.
Okay.
Ano pa iba? Nothing, wala masyado unless like if you deal with disabilities, then you can also take the program with disability, right? Gano'n.
Mhm.
'Pag ano talaga sa dental assistant, wala akong
Ma'am,
masyadong makitang program dito.
mas
Oo.
prefer ko sana ma'am dun sa ano natin, sa profession natin. Yun nga lang po, wala po talaga akong experience dun.
Mhm.
So, as much as possible, balik po sana talaga sa pinaka-profession natin.
Mhm.
So, kung ano po yung nearest na program na magli-link po sa profession natin sa healthcare, kung
CCA.
ano po
Mm.
PCA po.
Kasi at least it's not acute nursing, right? It's more on palliative care. So
Wala.
you haven't been working as a nurse for the last 11 years, at least parang slow yung pagbalik mo, hindi yung parang acute ka kaagad, right?
Mhm.
Iba sa
Yes,
hospital,
ma'am.
iba sa palliative and gerontology. More on routine stuff ang ginagawa mo sa CCA. Kaya ito yung pinakamalapit if you really want if insist to study in SAS Polytech, CCA. And you know what guys, grabe yung CCA na program kasi yan yung palaging maraming job offer din, yung CCA na yan. Even like Saskatchewan Health Authority accepts you, walang sinasabi na, oh, hindi ka pa permanent resident dito, hindi ka citizen, we're not gonna accept you. No, they are going to accept you as long as you have a work permit. And especially,
Okay.
lalo na if nag-aaral ka na dito sa
Okay,
Saskatchewan.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am. I will consider that, ma'am. Thank you so much, Ma'am Natsumi.
Thank
God
you.
bless po. Thank you po. Salamat na
Uh,
marami.
Janelle, sponsor ko po dapat yung cousin ko sa London but nag-resign po siya sa work recently, planning to launch in February 2023. Baka count lang po mapipresent siya. Wala siyang COA or payslips. Ano po kaya pwedeng i-provide? Interesting question. Ito, same case happened when one of the na student nag-apply. Yung parents ni mama niya yung nag-provide ng sponsorship, only bank certificate, bank account, and walang COA and walang payslip since hindi na talaga siya parang allowed mag-work. So, kinanapan siya. Ang letter na ng refusal niya is you or your sponsor did not provide enough proof of funds nakalagay. Yung parang proof kung saan galing ang pera. If February, okay lang sana kung this year mag-lodge, no? Parang pasok pa siya. Pero pag next year, February 2023, at least sana 3 to 6 months na payslips or COA. Yung pera ba niya is galing sa parang gratuity, severance pay? No, walang ganyan sa London, no? I'm not sure if meron ganyan sa London. Dapat meron. Yung certificate of employment niya, at least hindi parang sobrang tagal na last time siya nagwo-work. Kasi mahirap sasabihin ng visa officer niyan you don't have work anymore and you need also mag-sponsor ka. Tapos parang it's not ideal na mag-sponsor ka when you yourself doesn't have a work, right? Parang ganun yung nasa isip ko. Kaya teka lang. Yeah. Janelle, are you here? Hindi ko siya basta yun yung sinasabi ko, at least get some proof. Kasi yun as mentioned earlier, kahit na marami kang pera and you don't have enough proof, parang wala din siyang effect. Oo. Yes, Kimi, directly through bank. employment contract lang po meron ako. Yeah, that should be okay. Employment contract, anything that, any documents na nag-mention na yung employer mo. That's fine. Marielle, are you here?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Hello po.
Hello.
Ma'am, question lang kasi yung husband ko ngayon is on board. So, seafarer po siya. Planning po kasi kami sana for September 2023 intake.
Mhm.
Paano po kaya yung magiging namin, ma'am? Magiging timeline namin. Tapos, ma'am, 'di ba nag-ano ako sa inyo, send kasi ako ng application ko sa Bow Valley.
Mm.
But since yun nga, ang sinabi
Mm.
po kasi is parang priority ninyo yung
Oo.
mga client ninyo. Gusto ko rin sanang ano yung application ko doon and then magpapasa na lang ako ng LOA sa Y Study para kasi kailangan ko rin po ng syempre assistance din po sana.
So ganito, full intake 2023 next year, kailan ba ni husband mo?
By April, ma'am. April or June.
Ay, wag mong i-June. June next year?
Yes.
Delay na yan. Mag-ano ka na niyan. Kakabahan ka na kasi
Oo. Siya yung
oo,
open
June.
pasakali.
Unless kung separate mo siya i-apply, hindi sabay, then that's fine. Mauna ka, susunod na siya pagka mo. Kasi
Nakaseparate na lang, ma'am. Okay po.
kasi pag tingnan mo ngayon, hindi natin alam, merong March na nag-a-upload, nauna pa yung June. Pero what if yung mga June next year is delay din talaga? So, hindi ka makakaabot sa fall 2023. Lucky you if yung program mo na pinili mo is merong winter intake. Pero kung wala, mag-extend ka na naman ng another year to wait for the next intake, which is 2024. Imagine you guys, marami nang dumadaan ng mga immigration pathways niyan that time. So, mauna ka
Okay,
na
so
matagal siya.
Separate application. Separate application na lang po.
Yeah, wag mo na lang siyang ilagay na home ties para at least masusunod mo siya right away as soon as he comes here, he goes home.
Sige po. Ma'am, next question po. Kasi meron akong 14-year-old son. Ngayon, pwede ko ba siya sabay sa akin? Kasi siya lang may iwan pasakali.
SP minor yan siya. Merong
SP minor.
nag-apply na 15 years old, nag-apply for tourist visa. Alam mo ang ginawa ng IRCC? They did not refuse it. Ang ginawa ng IRCC, nag-send sila ng letter na dapat sa edad na to, nag-apply ka as SP minor. So, submit an SP application right away. Ibigay mo sa amin yung application number within 15 days. Ganun yung sinabi ng IRCC. Hindi yung parang you are refused kasi mali yung in-applyan mo. No, hindi. Sinabi lang na sa letter na mag-apply ka ng student visa, yung sa SP minor, and give us the application number. Yun yung ginawa. So, I would say 14 years old, SP minor yan.
Okay po. Sige, ma'am. Yun lang po, ma'am. So, magsisend na lang po ako ng application.
Okay. Chat na lang tayo or email kung saan sa dalawa. Both. Para mag-reply.
Salamat,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thanks. Irene, ilang months pa validity ng bank statement? If more than 6 months na, wag mo na siyang gamitin. Dapat mas maganda nga 3 months yung maganda talaga. Closer sa lodging ng visa application nyo. Oo. At least makikita nila yung history. Mayroong ins and outs, flow sa money mo. So, yeah, 3 to 6 months. That's good. Hi Ruth, if mag-awol, absence without leave, right? Po si spouse from government employee, malalaman po ba yun ng visa officer? Hindi. Hindi niya malalaman. Kasi they don't care. They just wanna know how you can afford yourself sa Canada. Uwi ba kayo? Babalik ba? Hindi. So, AWOL doesn't sa employer lang ng husband mo, may something na kasi parang AWOL is, yun nga, parang absence without leave. Wala, hindi makikialam sa visa officer niyan. Okay? Jane, Willa, tanong lang po, di ba po may babayaran kay school? I believe kay Saskatchewan Polytechnic is 150 Canadian. Do we pay that before we secure LOA or after that LOA po? How do we pay that, ma'am? Inform niyo po ba ako? Okay, so ito yung mga nakukonfuse ng marami, you guys. School application fee is non-refundable all over schools in Canada. Why? Kasi you are paying them to apply to assess your documents, kung qualified ba kayo or hindi. Okay? It doesn't mean that you paid the 150 CAD application fee, you already will get your LOA. They will assess your documents. Minsan pa nga meron akong client na na-refuse sa applied management kasi yung grades is overall hindi niya na-met. Yung mababa yung average niya overall. So hindi lang yung mga schools natin hindi lang sila basta-basta tumatanggap ng application fee and then magbibigay ng LOA. They will assess your documents. And for the refund of the 150 Canadian, we refund those application fee pagkadating nyo sa Canada, 30 to 45 days. Ni-refund namin yan. So, yeah, it has to be before securing the LOA. Because the purpose of the application fee is magpa-assess kayo sa documents niyo. If pasado kayo, then bibigyan kayo ng either letter of acceptance or offer letter. Yun siya. Okay? Riza, dito tayo sa nag-hands up.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi!
Hi. Ma'am, question lang po. Kasi sobrang daming factors po na dapat i-consider namin kasi mag-apply po kami with our 2 kids. So, ang plan ko pong i-take is Bachelor of Applied Management and yung sa Regina Campus po siya. So, plan po sana namin mag-settle sa Saskatoon. So, based po dun sa website nung school, kapag outside Regina po siya, pwede pong online yung class. Tama po ba?
Only
Or may
for
time din na kailangan sorry po?
Only for domestic students. Domestic, meaning PR and citizen.
Okay.
Kasi if mag-online studies, if it's gonna be more than 60%, hindi ka na allowed WP niyan. Tapos na yan yung nung pandemic na only during pandemic overall. Yeah.
So pag mag-take po ako ng Bachelor of Applied Management, dapat dun po talaga sa Regina magstay. Kasi hindi po siya applicable sa akin.
Yes, and it's very okay din mag-travel, like 2 to 3 hours of driving.
Opo. Okay po, ma'am. Thank you po, ma'am.
You're welcome. Maganda pa naman schedule ng applied management. Sa hapon lang yung pasukan. Tapos you can work during the days, right? Maganda yung applied. Yeah. Who else? Gracia. If mauna ako mag-apply sa SP, then once approved na ako, i-apply ko agad si open work permit. Then okay lang ba sa proof of funds na gamitin nila but through paragraph form na pag-extend din naka-table same as SP? 1.5 million is ilan ba? SP minor and TRV 4 kayo, kulang siya. It has to be more than 1.6. Dagdag ka na lang ng 100K. Pwede naman, same proof of funds, yeah. You can use the same proof of funds as long as it's not beyond 6 months. Kasi baka pag ginamit mo siya beyond 6 months, it's not okay anymore. Okay? Gagamitin nila through paragraph form. It doesn't matter how you present it as long as hindi yung parang nag-mention ka sa paragraph ng a lot of numbers and it doesn't make sense. Usually, they skip a lot of numbers if hindi mo siya na-organize pag Kahit ako, hindi ko na binabasa yan. Kapag mayroong nag-proofread, automatic yan na, wag yang isali, wag ganito. Kasi parang, ang gulo tingnan ng numbers in a paragraph. Honestly. So, unless if it's like a whole number na, we have this funds, 30,000 Canadian, then that's good. Pero pag tinututal-tutal pa, 10,000 came from him, from my relative plus, ganun. Wala, ang gulo. Mas better kung table. Okay. Rachel, pwede po ba magpa-add sa group chat? Anong group chat to? Sa Poly ba to?
Yes po,
Ra-
ma'am. Yes
Rachel?
po, ma'am.
Okay.
That's
For sure, yeah. Did you message me on Facebook already? Kasi hindi din ako
yes
makakapag-add.
po. Hindi ka pa po nag-response, ma'am.
Follow up. You know what, guys? If you message me, don't hesitate to follow up a message. Kasi lalo na ngayon, inuuna ko kasi itong mga Zoom. So ngayon, nagzo-Zoom tayo. After dito, may time na ako. Magre-respond na naman ako. Kaya, message me. Huwag kayong mahiya. Oo.
Okay. Thank you po.
Okay. You're welcome. Irene, ma'am, family of 4, okay lang po ba 500K owned bank plus sponsorship ni auntie? Plus, yes. Okay na to siya na pera. So that would be overall 3, 4, 4M4, 4 family. Yes, okay na to.
Ma'am.
Or, mm-mm.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Si Richland po ulit. May follow-up question sana ako. Kasi ito, medyo nabasa ko na. Hindi lang ako sure. Kasi alam mo na, galing ako agency, medyo may kaba pa ako. Ang sabi, upon lodging, possible daw na yung documents, I'm not sure, gusto ko malaman din yung ibang, syempre, points of view ninyo. Upon lodging daw ng documents, possible daw na ang documents ay umikot sa ibang Canadian embassy. Like ibang country. At ibang nationality ang humawak ng documents.
That's true. That's true. Because of increased workload, they are passing some of the papers na maraming applicants into other countries na wala masyadong ginagawa.
So hindi lang po yung sa Makati.
Hindi yan sa Makati. Ang nasa Makati is yes, they're doing it, pero since most of the applications are online, they can submit redirect it. There's even I have encountered sa GCMS na nasa mismong Ottawa yung second office or first office. Kasi maraming offices involved. Okay? Pag nag-submit kayo ng application, makikita nyo yan sa GCMS notes niyo. Mayroong first office, second office. Unless lang talaga first and second office, Manila, and then you're lucky. Right?
So halimbawa, napunta sa Canadian Embassy ng, siyempre hindi natin, ayoko man sabihin na may favoritism dyan. Siyempre, pag ibang nationality, di ba? So possible pala na umikot siya.
Meron lang hindi lahat sa Canadian Embassy sa CIC kasi naka-assign dito yung PR, naka-assign dito yung provincial nomination. They are only given sa temporary residents na area, na cases. So I wouldn't say na ganon discrimination, no. It still has to be your application. Application, how you present it. Kasi marami namang na-approve na CPC Ottawa yung na case processing center. Yung tawag niyan, na na-approve naman.
Okay po. Ma'am, yung GIC, ma'am, pwede bang 1K CAD lang muna?
1K CAD?
Oo.
Minimum is 10.
Minimum 10. 10K, 10 CAD po. 10,000 CAD.
Yeah. Yan yun siya. For student. Yung sinisend.
Tapos ma'am, etong mga, kasi di ba I'm planning to lodge early. Ito bang mga certifications ng barangay o ng valid kaya siya kung halimbawa malik naman ako ng halimbawa kumuha na ako ngayon or next month after my LOA, kumakuha ko na yung LOA ng ng October, kumuha na ako ng barangay certifications, valid pa kaya siya hanggang next year?
Kung kunin mo yung start na next year. I would say, kung next year ka pa mag-lodge, next year ka na din.
Kasi po ma'am, bala ko, pagkakawa ng LOA, kumuha na ako ng barangay certifications.
Barangay certifications.
Para ma-lodge ka ng maaga.
If, kung ma-lodge mo ng maaga din, yeah, that's fine. Pero kung paabutin mo pa for next year mag-lodge, huwag ka munang kumuha. You know what I mean? Like,
or kumuha uli ako.
Oo, at least nag-reflect sa this year na yung documents mo. If
Lahat po yan
ka din
ng
mag-lodge.
certificate. Lahat po yan ng certificates, ng certification like certification ng supplier namin ng fertilizers as
Yeah.
farmer.
Mhm. Yeah.
Ganun din po yun.
Mhm. Ganun din.
Oh.
Kasi pag next year pa kayo mag-lunch tapos this year parang ano yung proof, you know, ganun yung iniisip. Unless kung tax papers yan kasi obviously wala pang for next year. It's for 2022 pa, right? Hindi naman siya tax papers eh. Parang every year ba yung contract niyo pag ang ganun?
Apo. Parang
Oh.
ano eh. Ang bentahan kasi ng palay, twice a
Oo.
year. That's March and
Oo.
September.
Oh yeah. So it's kung ano kang time na closer na magsasabit ka na sure na kung anong year, then go for it. Yung year na yun ang susundin mo.
Hulihin ko na tong certifications, ma'am.
Oo. Madali lang naman. Madali lang ba yan?
Medyo madali naman.
Okay.
Opo.
Okay.
Yun lang po,
Alright.
ma'am. Salamat po.
Okay. Who else? Janelle, continuation from earlier. Yung savings at may property is okay ba? Thank you. Yeah, okay na yun, Janelle. Yung sa from salary lang po talaga yung savings and may property dito sa Pilipinas. Malakas talaga pag mayroong property sa home ties. Refundable pa ba yung 10K CAD na deposit po if ever ma-disapprove ang SP? Yes. If ma-refuse si SP, refundable ang 10K CAD na deposit minus the administrative fee. Now, what is the administrative fee? Ito yung mga, syempre, ibabalik nila sa'yo yung money. Mayroong bayad yan. Magbabayad din sila. So, syempre, ayaw ni school na, mag-shell out ng funds. Administrative fee ranges around 200 Canadian to 400. I think sa Politic is 200 CAD yung administrative fee nila. As long as you are able to provide your refusal letter, then and then you decided na mag-stop na talaga, hindi na mag-continue sa studies, then yeah, that's okay. Meron stamp visa pero di nagamit, din pa ba i-declare? Meron kasi akong visa for South Korea pero di ko nagamit due to pandemic. Yeah, it's fine. I-declare nyo pa din yan kasi kasali nyo sa passport nyo. And that's the good reason why nasa travel history. Kung wala kayong travel history or meron tapos nakaplano and na-cancel because of pandemic, you can include it on your SOP, LOI. Now, we are planning na magta-travel but due to the travel restrictions for the last 2 years, walang nangyari. So, kasalin nyo sa travel history para hindi matik. Kasi, parang you already address everything on your SOP and LORs but eventually na-refuse kayo for that reason na hindi mo na-tick yung history. Wala kang sa travel history niyo. So, maganda lang na-cover lahat sa SOP. Right? Okay. What else yung mga nag-hands up dito? Okay na ba to? Ruth?
Hi, ma'am. Follow-up question po.
Yeah,
Yung
sure.
regarding program. Opo. Yung sa bundle program, ang napili ko noon is yung financial management. Tapos nag-check ako sa website. Financial management plus yung entrepreneurship. Pwede po pang possible kaya yun na parang mag-business management ako on the second year or kung ano talaga yung nasa system nila.
You can. Possibly yan siya as long as there are seats available. So you can tell, you can message the school or you can inform the school as soon as like you're almost done. Pero mag-switch ako if there are available. And I believe you will be prioritized compared sa mga nag-apply na international. Kasi domestic, I mean, you are already in Canada, right? So you priority ka compared sa mga nag-apply pa ng visa outside of Canada.
Okay.
So you can switch.
Noted.
And it's easy. It's easy to transfer on school sa Canada compared pag nasa Pilipinas ka. If you are still in the Philippines and you are switching another school and program, you have to reapply for visa application. Null and void yung visa na visa stamp nyo. So you have to reapply again, defend why would you change. But once you are here in Canada, you just have to update, log into your GCK, update, change ELI. That's it. And then they will send you new student permit, especially if yung first program mo walang co-op, the second one meron ng co-op.
Okay. Thank you po. That's all. Thanks.
Who else? Sino ba dito yung mga nag-hands up? Okay na to. Bethany, are you still?
Ay, okay na po, Miss.
Okay na?
For last na lang pala po. How much do we need to prepare po as proof of funds kapag
Ay, hindi kita narinig. Bethany? Nawala ka ata.
Husband and wife.
Hindi
Ang sa
hindi
bank
ko
dyan,
narinig
para
yung
medyo mas malaki ang
niya.
suman. It's nag-avail nag-open na po ako. Ay, hello?
Ay, hindi
Ayan,
kita
okay.
narinig yung
Question lang po,
mo.
kasi in-advise ako ng cousin ko. Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Po? Yes, okay. So question lang po ulit. Nadidinig na po ako?
Yes, yes.
Ayan. Ang advice kasi ng cousin ko po is mag-open kami nung sa GIC po ba yun? Yung sa Canada na account na
Mhm.
then para it serves as a show money na din po. But do we need to prepare pa po ba show money? And how much po kapag husband and wife?
So if
SPNOA.
covered na ng GIC ka, GIC yung funds mo, as long as
Apo.
yung tuition fee receipt, plus yung GIC, kung covered na siya, then that's good enough. Good enough.
Okay.
Oo. And
Yung CCA po ba is 1-year program lang din?
yes, actually it's a 1-year program. So plus yung kasali na dyan yung practicum, mga weeks ata. Yung ilang weeks, yung practicum na yan. Oo. Oh my God, I just yawned. It's already 1 a.m. here, that's why. So, sorry. 17, I think yung tuition fee ng CCA is 17K or 16K. Plus, mag-asawa, 10, 14. So, that would be 11, 31K. So, since 20K is your GIC plus 10K na deposit, dagdag ka na lang ng konti. That's it. Okay. How much po pwede maging tuition fee deposit, business diploma? Then pag may visa na sa kabayaran ng full SIM. Okay. So deposit for SAS Polytechnic, if you guys are in SAS Polytechnic, it would be 10,000 Canadian. So this is the advantage if malaki yung deposit mo kasi pagdating dito, kunti na lang babayaran mo and most of your money is mafo-focus na sa expenses sa school and sa apartment, mga pagdating mo dito. Mabigat kasi maliit yung first deposit. Yes, maganda siya. Pero pagdating dito, mabibigatan kayo sunod-sunod yung gastos. For SAS Polytech, it's okay, deposit mo na. Ang balance usually is on the first day of school. Now, kapag hindi ka nakapagbayad, if ever hindi ka nakapagbayad ng remaining balance mo sa tuition fee, ang mangyayari, the school will talk to you or you can talk to the finance, find out what happened. And if for some reason talagang bibigyan ka siguro ng extension, who knows, we never know, right? Iba-iba ang policy ng school. If hindi ka talaga makapagbayad, they have the right to report you to IRCC. Eventually, since meron silang copy ng visa stamp niyo, right? They have your UCI, they have your information. That's the reason also why parang hinahanapan kayo ng visa stamp approval letter from IRCC because of that. And also para ma-confirm din nila attendance mo. So they will advise IRCC na this student hindi nagbayad ng tuition fee. IRCC can then eventually deport you kasi illegal na kayo. Hindi na valid yung student status niyo. Okay? So be careful. You have to really make sure na meron talagang pang tuition isa-side niyo. Kasi mahirap na. Lucky are those students na merong yung school nagbibigay ng up to 3 months extension. Yung iba nga merong late fee na $500 and merong nag-interest. Meron ako narinig na isang school na merong ganon, nag-i-interest. And you know, interest, ang laki ng you guys, ang laki. Kaya, as much as possible, if mababayaran talaga yung bayaran talaga. But yeah, the remaining balance would be on the first day of school usually. Iba-ibang school ha, mayroong iba na 10 days before the school starts, dapat mabayaran na yung balance. Okay? Raymart? Mart. I think I remember yung Facebook, Mart.
Hello po.
Hi!
Hello po, good morning. As ko lang po, ito ba si Miss Natsumi rin po ba to? Sorry kasi nakita ko lang yung link sa group. So hindi ako sure kung tama ba.
Yung sa
Okay, sa group ko lang doon nakita yung link. So para nag-join na lang din ako kung sino man yung kakausap ko. Sorry.
Yes. This is one Natsumi. You know what, guys? I did not introduce you. Natsumi is the name of my Japanese Spitz dog, and I just
Okay.
my Facebook name ever since. Hindi ko na change back to
Actually,
my
nagkaroon pa
real
nga ako
name.
ng confusion kasi akala ko yung email na sinendang ko general, yung pala ang pangalan niyo daw po pala is Jen. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. I don't have.
Okay, so ang question mo lang, ang mga question lang po ako. I mean, kasi di ba yung wife ko po maging SP. So, regarding doon, so kung yung 1 year program ang kukunin po niya is yung nabanggit yung ako is ang available lang yung financial tsaka yung project. So, financial po yung napili niya. I mean, kung isang taon pa lang po kukunin namin, paano po yung, for example, we decided to upgrade to a 2 year, I mean, not 2 year program or +1, paano po yung process din nun? I mean, sa school po ba pwede makapag-coordinate kung bago matapos or kailangan hindi pa nagsisimula yung itong namin, meron na kaming +1? Ano po ba
Okay.
yung ma-advise mo?
So, mag-ano kayo sa school, bantayan nyo yung opening. Usually, I advise na at least 3 months before the end of the school, mag-apply na kayo ng another LOA, mag-o-open. So, for example, March intake, right?
Opo, correct po.
March intake and may-expire, matapos siya by next year.
By next year po.
Oo. So, by next year, March.
Actually, 2024, sorry. Tama. The next year. The following year.
So, dapat at least 90 days or 3 months before mag-expire yung yung mag-apply ka na ng LOA. Just, lalo na if yung program na isi-second mo na program is very in demand. You have
Yun nga po ang concern din namin. For example po, as you said po 3 months, what if po yung super in demand yung program na next na +1 namin? So, parang risky na rin po ba pagka 3 months, pag 90 days, or enough pa rin po yun?
It should be enough if yung kalaban mo is international na nasa outside Canada pa. But if
Okay.
the waitlist na yun is kasali na yung nasa loob na naghihintay.
Okay.
Oo.
So, kailangan ko inom talaga.
Yeah, but
Okay,
you
kasi di
are
ba ang target po namin first nung una is management. Kaya lang po, sabi nyo nga po is medyo fully talaga yung queue na nila. Masyado nang mahaba. So, alangan nila tapos March pa. So, kaya financial yung binuo ni wife ko.
Yeah. So, ano talaga siya, grabe in demand. In demand yung program na yan.
Okay, tapos, ano pa ba yung tanong ko? Yung tanong ko po yung di ba po nabanggit po sa mismong website na parang ang requirements nila for PR is 6 months, 780. I mean, kasama na po ba dun yung habang nagpa-part-time si wife? Parang gano'n.
Si SINP? So, ito siya
Opo,
ha.
kasama.
SINP. Very siya, very marami kasi siyang pathways. So, very confusing siya, pero very easy.
Opo.
Oo. So, it can be, ano yung counted mo na anything that's paid in Saskatchewan is already a Saskatchewan experience.
Opo. Regardless po ba yun? Kahit kung ano yung kung anong NOC yung nakuha mo or I mean NOC, ABC or regardless po yan.
Regardless yan siya kasi bakit? Sa question ng point system, sa point system ng Saskatchewan, SINP, you can see na have you been working in Saskatchewan for the last 12 months, right? Dagdag points na yun siya. And the advantage, if yung employer na tatrabahuan ni student while she was studying, and yung after studies na the same employer, then advantage is that hindi na maghahantay ng yung pang 780 hours. Pwede na 6 months, pwede na after 3 months, pwede na mag-apply for SINP.
Hindi natin i-apply. Okay po. Then may another question po. Doon po ba sa SINP, merong designated or any employer applicable po or may designated employer lang po para doon?
Any employer is applicable. The thing is, SINP, dapat yung employer is nag-create ng account. They have
Okay.
to have an account and submit an application na sa
Mm.
SINP. Interesado sila mag-sponsor ng
Mm.
or maghanap ng temporary foreign worker to fill their shortages sa staff. Okay?
Last po may question pa pala. Sorry, medyo tricky lang po. Kasi for example po, si wifey, kasi parehas kaming OFW din sa Middle East. Tapos parehas kaming may experience na rin. So kung siya, ako kasi di ba possible din naman na habang nag-aaral siya, possible na ako mag-apply sa ganun. If ever na makakuha ako ng trabaho na I mean, if eligible ako sa mga ganun, pwede na akong mag-apply ng, ng PR. Kasi mayroon na akong experience international. Pag ibang stream ang kinuha ko, tama po ba? Then, yung
Yes.
isa pang question is, si wife ko, student po, applicable pa rin ba sa kanya yung ibang stream? Kahit na estudyante siya. I mean, for example, sa akin applicable yung international foreign experience. Applicable pa rin ba sa kanya yun? Pwede na din siyang mag-apply dahil kahit di pa siya naka 6 months kung may makuha siyang employer na sa stream na yun is possible din or hindi po ganun pag student.
So, ganito siya. Applicable siya anytime she can create an express entry account. Pero hindi pa counted yung student niya and work niya kasi unless matapos niya. So, she is available, she can open an express entry. However, when it comes to SINP na merong job offer, hahanapan kanila ng work permit. So, kung naka-student siya, hindi siya pwede kasi you have to be working full-time sa employer mo. Kasi hahanapin yung payslips mo eh. And as a student, you cannot work full-time. So, that's the
Hindi po yun, I mean, kung yung ang gagamitin pong backup is yung international experience, hindi rin po, ayun, kailangan talaga may full-time offer doon. Sa ano
Oo,
po.
kasi may question doon na where are you currently residing? If sasabihin niya ka sa Saskatchewan, ano yung status mo dito? So magko-connect na siya. Malalaman niya.
Okay, so habang nag-aaral pala siya, mas ako yung mas possible na mas pwede
Yeah.
mag-push habang
Yeah.
nag-aaral siya.
Yeah, but she can create an SINP account. SINP
Opo.
express entry. And that would be her chance. Kung mabono siya, mayroong ITA, then mag-invite sa SINP ng ITA based on her international experience, then that's okay.
Sorry guys, dami ng question. Sorry, nagkasabay-sabay na. Kasi
Anytime.
medyo busy si Miss Natsumi actually. Okay, yung tanong ko pa lang isa pa is, so nag-submit ako. Actually, few days pa lang ako nag-submit po sa inyo. I mean,
Oo.
hindi ko kasi alam kung saan na po yung process that, I mean, na-submit na po ba sa school or hindi pa po yun sa amin?
Hindi pa siya.
Pero
Ina-assess ko pa siya and ina-arrange
Okay.
ko and assess. And after that, meron akong isi-send sa'yo na form for signature. For signature.
Okay
And
po.
then I will give you
Then,
instructions.
ano pa ba yung question? Yung question ko po, may isa pa akong, kasi kagabi, nag-search kami, tapos yung kamag-anak ng wife ko sa Battleford, na may nakita sila sa bangko na 2 Pilipino. So, sa ano daw po sila? Northwest College. So, hindi ko lang alam kung tama yung question ko dito, kung applicable pa rin. Kasi nakita ko doon, nag-accept na ng international student din ng Northwest College.
Yes.
Agency
Partner
po ba
schools
kayo
yun.
for that school po?
Yeah. So,
May
partner
IELTS
school
din po ba
yun.
doon or wala?
Yan yung abangan natin sa September kasi they are currently
Opo,
making the view.
kasi yung form na na-download ko po, naka-mention po doon kaya nag-email po ako sa school, naka-mention po doon na exempted po ang Philippines, pero naka-stated din po doon na kailangan 2-year diploma, business management diploma ang kukunin ng estudyante. So, kaya ang pina-point out ko, kung pati ba sa 1 year, applicable yun. Although naka-mention na mismo sa form na for Filipino Filipino citizen is exempted for ELP, pero kailangan nakagraduate ng 2-year program. Tapos 2-year program din ang kukunin niya. Parang bachelor's degree dapat na natapos sa university. Tapos
Okay.
2-year program ang kukunin niya sa ganun.
So ganito kasi yan. Si Northwest College, yung mga rural colleges is nagjo-join forces. So kaka-join lang nila sa Northwest and Southeast colleges to Saskatchewan colleges. Next month mag-a-announce sila. Mag-a-announce din ako. They will send me an information. So I will let you guys know. And hindi tayo
Kaya nga
ma-worry.
po, sure po. Hindi pa ako nag-apply, nag-fill up lang ako ng form kasi nag-email ako sa kanila. So hindi ko pa sinasubmit kasi sabi ko, malamang agency po kayo dun eh. Kaya sabi ko, hold ko muna to.
Oo, hold mo muna. And if that's our partner schools. We are directly in contact ni Christy, yung international
Kasi ang naisip kasi namin kung North Battleford is nandun mismo yung pinsan ng wife ko. Sa Musjo, medyo parang 1.5 hour or 2 hours away from North Battleford yung Musjo. Tama ba ba?
I think so, yeah.
So kung sa Battleford, mas okay kasi nandoon po sila. Pero hindi po namin para malaman lang po namin ibang detalye sa Northwest. So we could choose po kung sa Poly or Northwest. Kaya lang po si SAS Poly is March na medyo malapit-lapit na rin.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Anyway, anytime naman po, okay naman po kami kasi medyo, yung sa documents naman po for logic, medyo almost complete na rin naman po. Kumbaga, yun.
Alright.
Yun lang po muna. Salamat
Okay.
po.
You're welcome. June? June, are you here? I will be.
Hello po.
Hi.
Hello, ma'am.
Ma'am,
clarification lang po. Kasi yung sa web link na binigay mo, there are already 13 waitlisted for ECE for Saskatoon campus. Tama po ba?
Yeah.
So ma'am, pag pag nag-apply kami doon, and naging full yung campus na yun, ita-transfer ba kami sa ibang campus or paano ba, or magiging waitlisted po kami for fall 2024 pa kapag hindi kami nakapasok?
So this is the advantage of having an educational consultant na partner ng school, kasi we can message the school, sabihin natin, available dito sa campus, transfer mo siya, bigyan mo ng bigyan mo ng LOA for this campus. So ganyan yung ginagawa namin. We message them na parang priority mo yung estudyante ko. Me and Sir Mark, kinokontak namin yung sa schools na, sige, meron tayong student na ready na talaga mag-apply for visa, tapos na medical, tapos na lahat. Priority nila to. So they will put you in the priority list. And eventually, mga days to weeks lang yung hintayin, days to less than 2 weeks, na mabigyan kayo. And for those who are currently on the wait list right now, it's not a guarantee that they're still gonna be waiting. Some of them are even also finding a school, right? Ibang schools, nag-transfer na. So it's not a guarantee na, parang kasali na yun sila for the next count. No.
Okay po. So bali inform naman po kami ma'am na kung pasok kami for fall 2023 or hindi, or need namin mag-transfer.
Yeah, inform kayo kasi mangyayari yan, accepted kayo pero waitlisted, magsasend sila ng email na waitlisted kayo. And what we're gonna do, let me know and I will contact somebody na priority kayo sa waitlist. Posible yan, marami na tayong na waitlist pero nabigyan ng LOA after how many days. Yeah.
Okay po, ma'am. And ma'am, another question po. My friend po kasi kami kakarating lang sa Toronto and galing din po sila dito sa UAE, but they were advised by their consultant po na dahil Pinas Lodge po sila, kailangan po nilang umuwi ng Pinas para doon po sila manggagaling papuntang Canada because it would be a misrepresentation po kasi lahat po ng address is naka-Philippines but galing sila dito sa UAE. So I don't know how true is that po kasi syempre considering we are a family of 4 and medyo malaki din yung pag-uwi po kami ng Pinas galing dito and we need to book again a flight going to Canada again. So paano po, pwede po ba galing na kami dito kahit Pinas Lodge po kami tapos dito na kami manggagaling sa UAE or need talagang umuwi ng Pinas?
So that's a good question. It's very debatable. Maraming nagde-debate niyan kasi you are a foreign worker in UAE. You are not a resident in there. So the question about asking your current country of residence, permanent residence, Philippines, right? And meron din nasasabi na your current country of residence is UAE. It's very confusing. Maraming nagtatry ng Dubai Lodge and we know na mataas yung refusal rates because of the Chinook system. If you guys know what Chinook is, it's like a robot na nagde-detect ng words na nasa application nyo, and if they find something sa application nyo on that word, they will refuse you. Hindi tao yung nagbabasa ng SOP, LOI, no. So that's the reason why maraming nag-Philippines Lodge. Honestly, marami. It's a risk to take. Risk siya i-take. Pero, yun nga, if
Pero
possible,
pwede ng sige po.
sige, ikaw muna.
Pero kahit Pinas Lodge, ma'am, okay lang na dito sa kami magfa-flight from UAE to Canada. Hindi kailangan umuwi talaga ng Pinas.
Oh, hindi kailangan na uuwi ng Pilipinas. May, diretso na kung saan kayo, cross country, parang ganun.
Okay po. And last question po, ma'am. Proof of funds po, di ko alam kung nag-reply ka na po regarding dito. Hindi ko lang maalala. Pero on hand po, ma'am, we can only provide 10,000 Canadian dollars for the deposit and 20,000 Canadian dollars for the family of 4. But yung ibang cash po namin is makukuha siya at the end of our service here. Pag nag-resign kami, saka pa namin makukuha yun. Pwede i-include namin po siya as proof of funds pa rin. Or yung kung ano lang yung merong cash on hand kami, which is the 20,000 and the 10,000 deposit.
So, dapat yung kung yung proof of funds talaga is andyan na, yung upcoming funds is upcoming, dagdag na siya, dapat parang hindi na siya kasali sa yung funds na needed talaga kasi parang upcoming yun siya na funds. Oo, yan yung nasa ko, advisable. Kasi pag sinasabi mo siyang although we know na nandyan talaga yan, ang hinahanap nila is yung liquid, yung andyan talaga sa'yo, na it's either in the bank certificate, equivalent as cash, or ganun. So,
Pero pwedeng i-include, ma'am, sa
yeah,
sa proof of funds sa SOP
for
na
sure.
may makukuha kaming ganitong funds after our end of
Yeah,
service here
for
in
sure.
Dubai.
Pwede. And we have a formula how to, not formula, we have paper or
Ang
kung
table.
paano siya,
Oh.
example kung how to tackle that, magawa ng paraan, magawa ng table. Of kung,
Okay po.
yun yun
Sige
siya.
po. Okay po. Sige po, yun na lang po muna. Thank you po.
Okay, sounds good. I have a message in here. How much po pwedeng, SAS Politic, is it true na bayaran yung remaining school tuition fee before mag-commence yung class po? First day of school, and they would sometimes give you an extension, but I'm not sure about it, how many days. But first day of school, usually, maybe it has to be, yung balance. Okay?
Ma'am, pwede pa next kung sakali ko okay lang. Claimant ulit, sorry.
Oh, sure, okay.
Okay, guys, actually gusto ko lang din mag-share. Yung regarding kasi meron akong kasamaan din sa UAE na, nasa British Columbia na sila. Actually, ang ginawa nila that time, sabi nila, applicable din naman, kung okay lang na i-share ko, is pwede namin siya include as anticipated funds na ipapakita din. We can provide the parang sa letter of the company. Then yung salary certificate, of course, plus yung kung may gratuity kami, pwede namin i-screenshot yung government gratuity, or we can ask also our employer to provide the estimated calculation if ever na kaya lang normally kasi yung iba kasi hindi naman ina-aware agad, ini-inform agad yung employer na aalis. Ganun. Kumbaga case to case basis. Pero kung makakakuha ng papers na ganun, mas maganda rin daw kasi mayroong mga stamp ng company yun na ito yung calculation na pwedeng makuha ni employee as anticipated salary, as anticipated funds niya, or sa gratuity plus salary bago siya pumunta doon. Parang ganun po. Parang supporting documents para ma-proof na possible yung pera na yun is makuha na ganun yung amount.
Yeah,
Then, sure po.
Yeah, so yung ang upcoming is yung gratuity and yung salary ng the next coming months until na bago mag-resign kayo, ganun.
Correct.
Oo.
Then, may tanong pa po ako. So, for example, kasi actually kaya kami nag-release ng 1 year muna. Kasi yung second year namin, kasi nga dahil nga may mga anticipated kami na funds, so kasi sabi nila, mas maganda yung, ma-cover mo yung 2 years mo. Pero may nagsasabi din po na ang required for kahit 2 years program ang kunin mo, ang required lang is mapakita mo sa available funds mo na meron kang pan 2-year program plus 1 year cost of living together if you have OWP. Then yung the second year, hindi na siya so much required, pero kailangan, kung meron ka naman, bakit hindi mo ipoprovide? Tama po ba yung
Yes, tama yun siya. I mean, the ano talaga is 1 year tuition fee kahit na 2 years yung program mo plus yung the cost of living of your family members, you and your family members. But if you have the funds to show it na ano talaga kayo, then flaunt it.
Okay, so kahit possible din po na kahit 1 year program lang, kahit 2 years program ka, tas 1 year lang yung pinakita mong, estimated funds mo is parang cover lang siya into 1 year tuition fee plus cost of living 1 year. Pero
Yeah.
kung mas maganda, kung 2 year, kumbaga 2 years yung napakita mong tuition fee plus cost of living, that will be better. Tama po.
Yeah, that would be better. I mean, if you have it, right? Then yeah.
Opo. Kasi katulad ng tanong kanina ni Jun kasi nga syempre yung kaming nasa abroad, yung kahit naman nasa abroad, kahit nasa Pilipinas, may mga trabaho pa rin. So yung funds medyo tight dahil hindi mo pa siya hawak talaga.
Yeah.
Yun kasi yung tagal. Anyway, salamat po sa pagsagot. Sige po.
For sure. Andrian, if ever po magko-continue to LPN from CCA, ilang years na po ba i-add? You can continue from CCA to LPN 2 years na lang. Okay? Ayan yung mga ginagawa ng mga CCA ngayon. And if you're gonna be an LPN to RN, that's gonna be another 2 years too. So, if CCA ka sa Canada, and then you proceed to LPN, most likely hindi ka na kailangan ng IELTS. Sobrang taas ng IELTS score needed for nurses here. Even if international students, kailangan ng at least 7 kasi very strict yung mga provincial, yung mga colleges of nurses. So, kailangan nga 8 or 7 above the 8. So, yeah, pwede na. Advisable though if you are already a permanent resident. At least parang cheaper yung tuition fee and you can have the student loan. It's worth it kasi mas malaki ang sahod ng LPN. It's gonna be, when I was in Saskatchewan, it was 38 per hour, times 2 pag overtime. Overtime nila doon palagi is times 2. Dito sa Ontario, it's just only time 1.5. Sobrang baba pa ng sahod. So, yeah, go for it if there's a way for you to find upgrade your studies. Dagdag points po din boss is INP application if may relatives sa Canada. Yes, dagdag points. Sa Manitoba though is kahit na friends kayo and you can provide proof of the friends talaga kayo, then yes, dagdag points si friends. Pero sa Saskatchewan, strictly to relatives only. Strictly to relatives only. Yan siya. Yan yun siya. Yung ano natin. If you have more questions, you can just email me or message me. We're gonna do another session. Kasi it's a bit late na din here, almost 2 a.m. And yeah, thank you for attending this session. I hope that helped you guys. Nakakatulong sa ano nyo if while you are preparing for your application. Kasi it's not easy. I was once an international student, right? It's not easy. And you guys are lucky this time. Marami ng groups, maraming supporting groups, group chats. My time, wala masyado. Kaya, and I know you can. Who knows? All of you na nakating dito, magkikita-kita dito sa Canada. Magkikita-kita tayo. Kaya, magkita tayo.
Sorry po, ma'am. Last na lang. Nag-message pa ako sa group call. Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Yes po, ask ko lang din po, yung nabanggit niyo po kanina na nasa process na po ng assessment yung sinabit ko mga documents. Possible po ba makareceive kami ng form today or tomorrow? Regarding sa SAS Poly?
Ay, hindi pa. Kasi makaka-receive kayo ng message from SAS Poly after you pay the 150 CAD, which is I will give you instruction. Right? So tomorrow,
Okay po. Pero yung form po na sinasabi niyo, yun po yung unang ma-receive namin. Tapos after ng payment, then school na or paano po?
Oo. So ganito yan. I will email you, give you the form,
Okay
give
po.
you the contact access for the portal. You have to pay the application fee. The next day,
Okay.
usually, you will receive an email from SAS Polytech for the student ID number. It
Okay po.
doesn't mean that if you have student ID number, you will be accepted already.
Yes.
It's just
Okay
that
po.
give you account. And then after that, you have to
Opo.
wait for how many days. And decision would be in your portal. Yung
Okay,
LOA.
okay. So, you
Okay?
will have an access din po. Okay,
Mhm.
good. Salamat po.
Yeah. Yeah, you will have access in your own portal, and that's your portal when you
Yeah.
mag-study na
Okay.
dito. Okay?
Thank you so much po. God bless po.
Thank
Salamat
you.
na marami.
And
Thank you, guys.
yeah, and you know what? If hindi ako makaka-reply agad, it's fine. I'll respond slowly.
Oo nga po. Hindi, okay lang po. Naintindihan ko, sabi ko, super busy
Oo.
talaga. Kasi parang isa lang po kaya tayo, hindi ko alam.
And don't hesitate to message me kasi if I entertain your questions and
Sure
pina-prioritize
po.
ko. Alam ko yung ito malayo pa to siya, nagtatanong pa lang to for 2024. Kaya,
Oo nga. Hindi, okay lang.
oo,
Kasi
pina-prioritize
lang
ko.
din kami, sabi ni wife ko. Kasi sabi niya, March na siya, March 2023. So,
Mm.
more than 6 months na lang, parang gano'n.
Oo.
Yung
Meron kang
natin.
classmate actually. Meron kang classmate.
May
2023.
classmate na ba ako?
Oo.
Hindi, classmate mo ng
Siya.
wife ko actually. Kasi
Oo,
ako lang
siya.
yung pinaka
Mm-mm.
share ko lang din actually, ito dito. Sa SAS kami nag-fall ngayon kasi nga dahil ngayon sa pinsan ng wife ko. Actually, meron kaming LOA sa iba. Like,
Mm-mm.
yung sa Lambton, sa Nate. Pero ito talaga
Mm-mm.
yung final namin sa SAS Phase 1.
Yeah.
Okay
So,
po, sure.
yeah, message me anytime and
Sure po, sure po. Salamat po naman.
ganito ang mangyayari. We will have a session
Yes po.
para maano kayo mag-guide. Okay? That's
Sure.
everything and that ends our session. Thank you guys. Mm-mm.